And hello, everybody. Well, it's a little adventure there. I had to get the internet working properly to work with the laptop to work with the stream. So that's what was taking the time. And unfortunately, we got it working now. I was about to cancel, but tried one last ditch effort and it's working. You might have noticed maybe a little new setup. I decided to go at an angle. I think it might look better, might work better to see this little angle. Plus, we still got the small camera up here so you can see close up. We're just gonna, today, it's vegetarian. But don't worry, for all of you carnivores out there, this is a vegetarian dish that you're gonna love. It's very rich, flavorful, as you would have for any meat dish. You know, maybe you might miss your ground beef and lasagna. Maybe you don't. You know, there's lots of other flavors in there. It's gonna be really rich and flavorful. I'll have some sides that'll offset that richness. So, we're a little late, so let's go ahead and get started. 350. So I've got the oven set there at 350. Let me get the ingredients ready. And the stuff. So we've got a tray. This tray, now if you don't have a cookie tray like this, and let me throw on the side mirror. Side mirror, I like that. I recommend you get a cookie tray like this. It doubles, it's a cookie tray. It came with a nice black, you see it's kind of getting a little warm, that's okay. A little black parchment paper substitute that you can rewash instead of always parchment paper. And a little, I don't know, grill. Cooling tray, maybe you might call it. And it fits exactly inside, so this is beautiful. Because this allows for you to cook lots of food. Allows you to cook lots of, okay, this is the direction, I see. Got it. Oh, I need to move the camera that way then. If I move the camera that way, I move, yeah. All right, we're gonna move the camera just a bit. Still adjusting, new setup. Try and see what's gonna work best. If I move the camera, oh. Okay, let's see if I can get that to go back to where it's supposed to be. Hold on. Camera, I see it's not focusing like it's supposed to. Although you might not notice the focus is not like it's supposed to, it's not focusing like it's supposed to. The button is this one, right? So I don't want that little box. Okay, good. It's good now. It's everything instead of, it was focused on this little box. It's not good. Cooking tray, very nice. So this will also elevate if you don't want things straight in the pan, which we don't. For today, we're gonna do eggplants on here. We don't want it directly on the pan. So we're gonna elevate it. Gotta get our eggplant out. Or for you British people, might as well take out the zucchini while we're at it. I know there's eggplant in here. There it is. Yeah. Aubergine. Eggplant. Oh. See, I only think we only need one egg. Now, usually I only use one eggplant, I'll be honest. But the eggplants are so small, I wasn't sure if one eggplant is going to be enough. Now, actually, it's probably going to be enough for just the two of us. The three of us, sorry. My family of three. Got an eggplant here. We'll cut one up, and we'll see if we need the second one. So we'll peel one, cut it up, and see if we need the second one. That's what we'll do. So we're going to cook it on this tray. Got to get an egg for the wash so that the panko Parmesan mixture will stick. Now you do know that there is a recipe sitting there. That I did have a recipe and not garlic powder. I might refer to said recipe from time to time, but I might just go off book. I might not do exactly as the recipe says, because the recipe's online pretty much what I do, but sometimes I might be feeling something a little different. In fact, wonder what I'm doing now. I'm actually bringing up the recipe, believe it or not. Recipe, 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 recipe. Oh. Yeah, but it's all in good ways. So things work. There it is. The live stream from my wonderful site. There we go. Just want to make sure I get it right. So yeah, I've got the eggplant. I know it says 2 large eggs. We're not going to use eggs, 2 large eggs. We're not even going to use water, honestly. 3/4 cup, 1/4 cup Parmesan. Okay, that's a good amount. Good, good, good. Cooking spray. Nope, don't need that either. Okay, so certain things we don't need. Oh, that's the wrong panko box. Now, whenever you're doing breading, that should be enough. And actually, you know what? I am going to measure this one, because I often do too much breading. And when I do too much breading, it's a lot of extra. You'll find that the eggplant that you use, there it is, will not take as much coating as when I do chicken. At least that's what I have found. Oh, the bowls. Doesn't use as much from what I found. I can flip. There we go. So when I do chicken, I definitely want to make more filling and more egg, because for some reason more sticks. Now I like to use deeper bowls instead of shallower plates. Let's see, this will be good enough for the egg, because the eggplant's not that big. And this should be good enough for the breading. Yeah, there we go. All right, those will work. And those will be beautiful. Work wonderfully. So 3/4 a cup. 3/4 a cup here. Want to follow the recipe exact for today, because I'm usually left with too much breading when I do this dish. Too much excess. So I wanted to tone it down, see if I can have less. All right, there we go. That's 3/4. 3/4 of the panko. And I tell you, I would double this if I was doing chicken. Just takes more. Parmesan. While I'm getting this ready, of course, the breading part's not going to take much brain power. Setting up's taking a little bit of brain power. That's why we're only talking about this. But I have some good stuff to talk about today. Hopefully stuff that you enjoy. Taking my mic. Okay, good. I turned the mic back on. Oh, I was worried there for a second. Of course, I'm sure somebody in the house would have yelled at me had the mic been off, that they couldn't actually see this. Yep. Ooh, that's cute. Big old chunk of Parmigiano. Now you notice I am definitely not using fancy Parmesan. I'm just using standard canned Parmesan. Because honestly, we've tried all different kinds. Now I'll tell you, my family just doesn't care. I've gotten the block one, the one that you can shred. Oh, I don't need to mix it in here. Let's mix it in here. The kind that you can shred, with a cheese grater. They didn't really notice much of a flavor difference. So why should I go and buy the expensive stuff if my family has cheap taste? It actually goes with garlic, too. I was debating whether or not to use fresh garlic. It's funny, I've done garlic bread with fresh garlic. Fancy, right? Family likes it better with the garlic powder, so why bother using fresh garlic when garlic powder? Oh my gosh, there's already people. Hey everyone. Oh, gloves, yes, yes, yes. You'll notice I am not a glove person. Sam, so you want some gloves? All right, so we do have gloves. I usually don't use them. But you know. Maybe though I'll try these gloves. Maybe I'll decide I like the gloves. Maybe I'll start using gloves. Here's your dishes. Now these are definitely not the standard. These are more of like washing gloves, right? Clear, see-through gloves. Yeah. Not as tight as the black gloves you might see Google Foods wear. But they will work. They will be gloves. One thing though, it is 90 degrees here today. Actually, it's more than 90. So it is really hot in the kitchen. And I just turned that oven on at 350 degrees. So you can imagine this kitchen space is going to get hot. Later I'm going to bump it up to 425 for the zucchini. Worth it. Now, my mom, well, when we're in a house without air conditioning, and okay, we do have air conditioning, but we set it to 79 degrees. So it doesn't come on very often. It hasn't even come on today yet. It has to get more than 79 degrees inside. And I'll tell you, it's not 79 degrees inside yet. Close. Let's see. So there is the breading for the eggplant. So let's get the eggplant ready. I'm going to start with one. See how thick I make it. See if I need it any less. There we go. Take off the extra little parts here. Yeah, so it is hot here today. Oof, it is hot, but we're okay. I've got my ice water to drink. In fact, I think I need a little ice water very soon. That keeps me cool. Yeah, we keep our house at most 70. The lowest temperature we make, our AC is at 79 most of the time. And we want to cool down. Sometimes we just wear less. Now, usually I would be peeling this directly into a trash can. But you don't want to see that. You don't want to see a trash can. So we'll just peel the eggplant, or the aubergine, for you British people. Speaking of British, we are a lover of the Great British Baking Show. Now, we're not going to talk about recent episodes. I think the Netflix one just came out. The second one just came out Friday, which we have not seen. We haven't seen it yet. No, we have not. So I won't really talk about it. We love the show. I won't talk about the first episode either, but I really enjoyed myself on the first show. I love the intro. The intro is a very good parody. I loved it so much. But we like that show. It's a fun show. In case you're wondering, yes, my trash can is over there, so you can't see it. It is definitely nearby. All right, take out my favorite knife. Let's put it that way. So I love the noise it makes. That's not why. Oh, fine, we'll wash it. All right. Don't want the edge. Goes away. So let's see. I want my slices about 1/2 inch thick-ish. Try and judge it. Now, honestly, usually I'm not sitting down when I'm cutting, but it actually is pretty nice to sit down. I actually see beneath my cut and probably make them flatter than usual, which is nice. Of course, you want them really flat, you can use a mandolin. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to need both of them. And death in both of them. Gonna need both of them. Let's get the other one ready. I think. We'll see. Actually, we'll see. We'll put it on the tray, and I'll know once I put them on the tray how much more eggplant I need. Sometimes I want to fill up the tray. Fill up the tray with eggplant. Wow, just going it down. So right now, these are the only gloves that I have. You know, I could be, the ding dong, if you heard that, the oven ready. So this is gonna, oh, that one's terribly cut. Well, I wasn't even thinking, uh-oh. No, I need the next one. You know, the question is, this is gonna be 6, but you can see this is not gonna fill up my 8x9. All right, let me see. So we're going to use, so I'm going to take out some casserole dishes for a second, because the big ones are at the bottom. These two. All right. So normally, I would be using, normally I'd be using this beautiful casserole dish. This we got specifically for lasagna. And it's a really nice casserole dish. It's very deep, very big. But for the interest, for your viewing, we shall use this clear one so that you can see through it. And this is going to tell me how much eggplant I need. I'm going to use that thin one, aren't I? Yep. Yep. So that one got a little thin. That's okay. All right, beautiful. Lying there nicely. Thin one, I can add a little more. We can add a little more. Let me put that casserole just like, okay. And of course, yeah, this is going to be enough. We just do a 2-layer deep. And let's do this one a little better. Let's see. I can get off a little of the extra peel there. And a nice thick cut. Oh, okay. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Okay. So I'll give a little extra eggplant in a strange way to that one. Still be good. All right, into the trash, the rest goes. So that, yeah, that'll be plenty. All right, so yeah, just one eggplant. Usually I only use one, and usually, I'll be honest with you, the store had small ones this time. Too small. Really too small. But since that's what they had, that's what I used. Look at, oh, I can use this for a very small Romanian salad, which Happy Healthy Wife really loves. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow morning. Oh, we got the pita bread for that too. Perfect. It works great with pita. So yeah, I do have the recipe on that. And that's even on the website, www.happyhealthywife.net. Expecting com? Nope. .net. Why is it .net? Because somebody else purchased the .com and I'm not about to pay $5,000 to try and buy it from them. So I'm using .net. It's not going to make a difference. All right. So I'm going to take these back out. I only brought out the casserole dish to see if I had enough eggplants or not, and I do. I'm going to put this one back in the refrigerator. Now we're going to take the one egg, and we definitely only need one egg. For this dish, one egg and one egg alone. Now, if you look at the recipe online, it's going to say 2 eggs. plus water. I'm not a big fan of water in my egg wash. Maybe you do. You can do that. I don't. So I've got the egg, got the bowl for scrambling. Wash it up. They're gonna put it on this tray, and then we'll start cooking it. And we'll do that, we'll get the other stuff ready. Let me close that. There we go, closed. While I'm getting this egg wash ready, 1 egg. It's gonna be plenty. And if it's not, I can grab a second egg. While we're getting the egg wash ready, getting all of these wonderful eggplant slices ready, I have an idea that I really love. What I would love to do is to have people come on my live show. You know, get someone on here. And basically what I would want that person to do is cook their favorite dish. Whatever their favorite dish might be. You know, the person's favorite dish. If the person's favorite dish happens to be a peanut butter sandwich, perfect. Just make a peanut butter sandwich for me. I'm not that picky. Or if it's just chips and salsa, where they buy the salsa from the store and then bring a bag of chips. Beautiful. Wonderful. Love to see what they're going to make. And then what I'm going to do is I'll have them make their favorite dish. We'll talk, discuss their favorite food, whatever foods they like, whatever they want. And then I will give them a choice of whatever dish they want that I make. Could be any dish that, well, you know, you probably want to use the ones that I've featured on either my live show or just in the channel in general. Oh, shoot. So you want to, I should mention that about this. You want a wet hand and you want a dry hand here. This is my wet hand because it's touching the egg wash. But you'll see, look at how little actual coating is on the eggplant. That's perfect. Don't need to overload it. So you get your dry hand to toss it in. Usually the dry hand works because you're going to have the dry hand for flour, dip in batter, and then use the wet hand to soak the flour, egg, and into the breading. Anyway, back to the show idea. So come on, they'll get a dish of whatever, you know, that I am going to cook. Well, not, it's going to be their choice. From the menu, they will ask. Whatever they want, usually from a menu. So it could be a steak, could be a filet mignon, could be baby back ribs. In the egg with one hand, use the other hand to spread the egg around. This is the wet hand, and the wet hand goes into the breading that coats it. Baby back ribs would be wonderful. Be prepared. Could be just a spaghetti recipe that I make that is really good. Let's see, filet mignon, any of the steaks that I have made. Any pressure cooker dish that I make that is tasty as well. So anything, it could be pizza. I'm really good at pizza. Anything that I cook everything well. Just kidding. Now, anything that they see on the channel, anything that's interesting to them, that is what I would cook for them. So they came on, make their favorite dish, we'll talk. Now it'd be awesome if it, you know, could be some sort of celebrity too. You know, maybe, you know, wouldn't you be interested to have someone like, oh, let's get some names out there. Let's go high. Let's go George Clooney. Wouldn't you want to know what is his favorite dish to cook? He can come on, make his favorite dish for us. And then in return, I'll make a dish from my repertoire of his choosing. It could be anything he wants, you know. No hold barred. Eggs Benedict. I make a good Eggs Benedict too. There are lots of dishes. Pizza. There's lots of dishes I make well. Oh, tri-tip. That is something that's kind of like a California thing. Tri-tip. If you've never had tri-tip, you should. It's really good. It's a kind of like I call it, it's halfway between a roast and a steak, if you've never had tri-tip. So, roast is cooked in the oven for ages. And it's all flavorful. A tri-tip is also cooked for a long time. Could be in the oven. Could be in on the barbecue grill. But then, it has some flavor on the side, and what's great about the tri-tip is you can keep it inside to a nice medium rare all throughout. So it's a lot of medium rare and a little taste on the side. And it tastes very much like a steak. But it's a big, huge roast. It is one of the best cuts. So you can make that for whoever is coming down. Baby back ribs, barbecue sauce. You can even just symbol like the Italian sandwich that I made last live. Oh, it's a very good Italian sandwich. So good, in fact. I just made it a couple this week. Did I make it this week? Maybe it was last week I made it. It was a very good Italian sandwich. We loved it. But I don't like to make certain foods all that often. Because, I find that you get tired. If I made filet mignon every single night, as good as it might be, eventually you'd probably get tired of filet mignon every single night. Filet mignon again. Seriously. Most people don't eat things like steak and be satisfied every single night. So I wouldn't necessarily choose that one. Okay, boop, 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 boop. It's got a few more here to go. But, so yeah, I would love to have, people who it could be George Clooney, could be someone like Brad Pitt comes next, right? George Clooney, could be someone like Tom Brady. That would be an interesting one. I don't know what he'd want of mine though. That's kind of, I don't know. He has his own special diet. Now he's out of football, maybe he doesn't follow it as rigidly as he used to, but, I don't know. It's a tough one. Let's see. Who else can I think of? This could be your favorite YouTuber, whoever that might be. There's lots of YouTubers out there. Or a streamer, your favorite streamer, whoever that is. They come on, make their favorite dish, and get a chance to try, a nice home-cooked meal. Now, it actually would especially work well if the person is a foreigner or from, even from England. That'd be awesome. Speaking of the Great British Bake Off, you might get Prue, or you might get Paul Hollywood over here. He would make something wonderful, whatever it is, or, he'd make something wonderful, and he would get to have something that I made. That hopefully, he's judged so much food over the years, so much baking food. Maybe want me to bake something for him. I doubt it. Probably want some real food. Oh, I'm sorry. Not the bread's not real food, but like what I mean is something meaty, something hearty. Of course, that could just be pizza. It could just be a taco from Taco Week. Sorry, that was a bad week. I did not like that week either. But yeah, so no, it could be Paul Hollywood or Prue. With Prue, probably have to have some alcohol. And it'd be really cool. Have them come over, we could just kind of shoot the breeze a bit and talk about, things that are going on, what's interesting, foods we've had, whatever comes to mind. A foreigner would be great, because that way, foreigner would be really great, someone who doesn't live in America, because that way they can actually taste a home-cooked American meal. And that's part of the draw here. To give them an honest, home-cooked American meal, something that you can't get in the restaurants. That's really the hope, actually. Something that you do not get in the restaurants. So we had a cup of breading, which was the panko and the Parmesan. And as you look in the bowl, you can see there's still quite a bit left. Sadly, you can't really do much with it. Can't really do much with it. Oh yeah. Yeah, so the question was, which eggplant should we buy? Oh, yes, you got to buy the big fat ones. Don't buy the Asian eggplants. They might be called Japanese or Chinese eggplants in the store. Don't buy those. They're too thin. You'd be spending all day trying to bread and cook. I mean, if you want to, you can make bite-sized eggplant casserole. This is really kind of eggplant casserole, eggplant lasagna, and it's very hearty, it's very filling. This recipe we got here is actually from Cooking Light. Like I said, they asked for 2 eggs. I just did 1. There you go. 1. It's all pretty much done. It's really, but a magazine called Cooking Light gave us this recipe the first off, and it's supposed to be a little lighter than the very, very, very dense eggplant parmesan. Now I'll say the first time I had eggplant parmesan was in the dorms, my college dorm. That's right, the college dorms. Yeah, they had, that was one, because it's something you can make a lot of for a whole bunch of people, just a little bit of stuff, and it's kind of relatively inexpensive. And I had it there, and I'm like, it was okay. It wasn't the greatest, it wasn't the worst, but I'll tell you this, it's not nearly as good as this one. We're gonna have this breaded eggplant, and we're gonna bake it, we're not gonna fry it. It's gonna retain a very crunchy texture because the panko is gonna be very flavorful. Let's see, a little salty, a little cheesy from the Parmesan. If you don't know, Parmesan is really salty. So when you have Parmesan in a dish, it's going to increase the salt level. You want to decrease your salt because the Parmesan is going to have some salt in it. It's going to taste really good. A little cheesy, a little salty. So that is really nice. So we're going to bake it to keep it crisp and crunchy. And if you fried it, I guess you can make it crunchy that way, but it's going to be oily and greasy by the time you're done with the bacon in the casserole dish. It's going to be pretty soggy. And that's what I would get at the, you know, actually thinking of it, I don't think they actually did bread it. The version I had at the dorms, they didn't bread it. It was kind of slimy and greasy, slimy, you know, how eggplant gets when it's cooked. Well, yeah, no, so we're gonna nice breaded, crisp it up in the oven. So 350 for 30 minutes. So we're gonna start for 15. Your nice 15-minute bake and then flip them. Let's start 15, start. There you go. That's 15 minutes, and then we're gonna flip them. Next, well, we gotta get the filling ready. So let's start with the filling. It's also gonna use Parmesan cheese as well. Once we put in the bake for the bake, that's when we'll start on the zucchini. So I'll take off the one glove that was Parmesan filled. Grab a second glove. Now I will admit, using that glove really did keep my hands from getting messy, so I didn't have to wash them. Just take a new glove out, huh? But they are pretty sweaty. Anyway. Do you like these gloves, Sam? These are good gloves. I see the benefit of it. Don't have to wash my hands. Bought the glove, and now it's ready for the next thing, which is the filling. Yes, the filling. We gotta get the filling going. So I'm gonna remind myself what's in the filling. Oh, it's such a good filling. All right, so in the recipe, if you see on the line, it says basil, fresh. Nah. I mean, I have fresh torn basil, and honestly, I could use fresh basil. Okay, fine. I talked myself into it. Let me show you our basil. Oh, look at that basil. Out of the way. Just look at our basil. So we bought this basil at the grocery store. The fresh basil, yes, we bought it at the grocery store. Put it in our windowsill. Now our windowsill is a shady windowsill. The sun doesn't hit. But you can see that actually the basil, it sits, this is the windows over here, so you can kind of see the basil drifts towards the light. It loves the light. But it's not a direct sunlight. And so you can see all this basil. came from that plant we bought. And I have picked a lot of basil off here before. So this is not, you know, this has not been, this basil plant here has not been unused. But honestly, I probably haven't used it in a while. So we're gonna use some fresh basil then. It smells nicer. What I really love to use this for, and I did make this on the show before, is caprese salad. It's a wonderful place to make this basil, caprese salad. They want a half a cup fresh torn basil. Yeah, we're not doing half a cup. I'm gonna say that's gonna be a lot of extra work for not an extra lot of flavor. Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking for the scissors, and those are the wrong word. This is the scissors. Some good shears. All right, so when you're doing basil, and you wanna keep going, now you can take a look down here. I can show it to you which one will be good to see. Which one can you see really well? This one, here we go. Take a look at this one. So you can see, let's see how close you can see there. Right down here, it's split in half. In order to split it in half like this, right there, what you do is when you cut the basil, you're gonna cut it right above a place, you can see this one has it too, way down at the bottom. See, I cut a long time ago, way down at the bottom. There's that split. You're gonna cut it right above where 2 leaves are. And what's gonna happen is these leaves are gonna grow out and become the next branches. So when you're cutting your basil, trimming it to get some basil for your dish, whatever your dish might be, you can see one's right there. You wanna cut it just above one of these little node things so it can have some more, oh, I can smell that. So I'm gonna cut this one right here. Now obviously I haven't trimmed it in a while. Haven't cut fresh basil in a while. So there's a lot of basil here I could trim off and cut and ask and get. That's perfect. Okay, this one's beautiful. Look at that one right there. Right there. So I have cut right above these 2 leaves. So what's gonna happen is those 2 leaves are gonna branch out, and you can see where we've done it before. Again, we haven't used this basil in a while. So you can see right here, right there where we've done it before. You can see it's split right there. That's what's gonna happen. So that's how you trim your basil to have everlasting basil. Now we have, this is probably maybe 2 years. We buy 1 a year. Probably how long it's lasted for us, but that's a half a cup of basil. I'm sorry, but that's gonna be plenty. We're gonna wash that. Put the basil back in the windowsill. Again, our windowsill is shaded. It gets shade light. It does not get direct sun. And that's how well the basil's been growing. All we've done is put in some potted water. We bought one of those fresh basils called living basil. I'm speaking louder because I think I'm away from the microphone. I'm not away from the microphone. The microphone is with me. Anyway. So the fresh basil. We're going to take the leaves off. Living basil is what it was called in the grocery store. Bought that, planted it. You know, and to be honest, of course, you didn't have that much basil when we first bought it. But it has grown over time. And has produced lots of basil. I've even made caprese salad, like at least 2 or 3 with that same plant. And if you know caprese salad, it takes a lot. I probably use 14 leaves each time. And you can see how much I still have. So if you want good basil, fresh basil, buy a living plant. And this way, the basil doesn't die in the refrigerator before you use it, which has happened to me plenty of times. Too bad. Now, too bad we can't do cilantro like that. Now, I have grown cilantro before. That way. Okay, let's see. I need a filling. A bowl for the filling. Trying to bet. The egg one should be good enough. I think the egg one's big enough. Let me see. The egg bowl. Reuse dishes as much as you can. Saves on cleanup time. Besides, they want an egg in the filling anyway. Very common in fillings for lasagna, whatnot. I don't know. I think that's a little too small. A little too small. Okay, we'll put that back. A little bigger. A little bigger of a bowl. Okay. Next size up. This is plenty big. That'll be fine. That's fine. By the way, yeah, I could use a knife on this basil, but you know what's even easier? It doesn't have to be perfectly small because when it's oven, it's going to shrivel up. Because that's what leafy vegetables do when you cook them. They shrivel. We're just going to cut them in. So these scissors are great, you know, I was able to cut the basil down. And now I'm able to slice my basil. Oh, you probably didn't expect that, did you? Don't underestimate kitchen shears. They are a great way to cut certain foods that you may otherwise not thought about cutting. Especially basil and other herbs. Now there are some special herb cutting shears. I wouldn't go for those. No, don't do that. What if you have like 5 or 6 of these at once? You know, I guess it's supposed to be faster, but you know, there's only so much I can hold out in the open. As I'm cutting. So beautiful. Basil. Oh, I can smell the fresh herbs. It's permeating. It'll be a good part of the filling. Fresh basil. Fresh basil. But getting back to my show idea, where a person comes on and you know they get to make their favorite dish. We get to talk about their favorite dish. We get to talk to them, find out what's going on, what they enjoy, what they don't enjoy. Maybe talk about some star stuff. You know, it could even be a K-pop star. Now, this might be the wrong audience for K-pop stars, but that would be especially good. A star from a foreign country, because that way they get to taste American home-cooked food. But if you would happen to know any celebrity, or doesn't have to be a celebrity, a fellow YouTuber, another good thing, a fellow YouTuber, you do like a little collab. Maybe they're cooking YouTuber, maybe not. Maybe it's some like Guga. That way I get to try whatever he likes. You know, maybe his favorite isn't steak. You know, he makes steak all the time on his channel. Maybe that's not his favorite. So, you know, bring Guga on. Or Bobby Flay. Oh, there's another person I'd love to have over here at my house and just see, share, chat the breeze, see what he has to say, see what dish is his favorite. That would be awesome. You know how it is. I don't really have a script here. I mean, I have ideas in my head, but I want to say, but there's no script. So, of course, I would probably prepare some questions, hide them somewhere off camera so you wouldn't see my hidden questions that I would prepare in case, you know, there's some certain questions. In case there wasn't conversation going on. No, it's just going to be a relaxed atmosphere. 2 guys just cooking. 2 people just cooking in a kitchen, in an American kitchen. All right, so we got our basil. We also want Parmesan Reggiano, half a cup of it. And well, okay, I already have out my half a cup jar, so we can do measurements today. As you know, I'm not a big measurement guy, but since I already got it out and I want to know exact measurements, let's go. Half a cup. And don't worry if I run out of it. I have more. Oh, all right, there it was, half a cup. Parmesan Reggiano. Boom, Parmesan. Guess I'll have to break open the new one. So I'm gonna need it on the top. The best way to top, in my opinion, of course, you know, you can have your own topping for whatever pasta dish. But anytime you're doing a baked pasta, baked Italian dish, whatever pasta it is, lasagna, spaghetti, eggplant, Parmesan, whatever it is, the best topping on top of the crust, mozzarella / Parmesan. You know, you spread on the mozzarella, then you fill it in with Parmesan to kind of make a nice coating. And when it bakes together, it gets sometimes, you know, there's a nutty flavor in some Parmesans. It gets that nutty Parmesan plus the salty Parmesan flavor, plus the neutral mozzarella flavor that covers everything. So you got the flavor plus the covering. It's beautiful. Always do that. And if you saw my post a little while back, I said, I actually think it was for the eggplant Parmesan, because, you know, it's like, every single time I make an Italian baked dish, eggplant parmesan, baked ziti, lasagna, the top, oh, actually it goes for American casseroles too. Our hot chicken salad casserole, that's a good one. Anytime I make this though, it's just a bunch of, it all looks the same. You can't tell what dish I've made until you actually go inside. Even a macaroni and cheese. You can't tell what's inside until you dig through it. So it's kind of funny to take those pictures of the dish as a whole. Why am I taking this picture of the dish as a whole? You can't see what it is. You don't know what it is. I could call it whatever I want and you wouldn't know. So yeah, that was kind of fun when I was seeing that. So yeah, this dish is gonna look like it's gonna look like my lasagna. It's gonna look like the baked ziti I've made. It's gonna look like macaroni and cheese. It's gonna look like hot chicken salad casserole. It's gonna look like baked spaghetti. It looks like every single other dish, casserole that I make. It'll even look very much like one of our favorites, the chicken enchilada casserole. Because we're too lazy to make enchiladas, so we make it as a casserole instead. You don't have to roll them up individually. It's actually a really nice way for the lazy. Let's see, the filling, yeah, we'll get to that. Let's get to the next ingredients. Red pepper. They want some actual garlic. Wow, imagine that. And some salt. So let's get the red pepper. Okay. And some salt. All right, so whenever you're cooking with salt, just go for some store-bought pre-ground salt. You don't need the fancy smanchy fresh ground salt. You don't need that. So you want, it says half a teaspoon of this stuff. Half a teaspoon crushed red pepper. Let's give this a little spicy kick. That's a little more. Okay, enough. Now I will say, there was a time when I was challenging myself to try and make pizza spicy enough for my brother. I was just trying to make something spicy enough for him. See if he, what he likes. A quarter teaspoon of salt. And actually I kind of like, do you really need salt? Anyway, don't need the, because this is gonna melt anyway, dissolve. So why get some, fresh ground if it's not gonna really change the flavor? It will change the flavor though, if you actually sprinkle it on after. Oh, that's halfway through. So I'll bring it out over here and we'll flip them. You can see it, they're like, boom. Aha. Off. For a second there, I thought I was grabbing them with my, that'd have been funny. Grabbing it with my gloved hands, and that would not have been pretty. Getting the plastic on my hands out would look bad. All right, so what are we doing? We are taking tongs, and we're gonna flip them. That's right. We're gonna flip them over. You can see they're kind of a little bit toasty, a little bit done. This is why, one reason why I like the grill on the inside, because this way, you're baking, yes, but it's not on the bottom of the pan, where it might stick more, number one, and where the air can still circulate underneath and make it crisp, and that's number two. So we're just gonna flip them over. Nothing special, nothing fancy, nothing spectacular. You can see the top part's a little orangey, because they're kind of getting toasted on top. It's exactly what you want. Don't worry about any of the breading coming off. Some of it will come off. It's not a big deal. And flip this one over. And flip this one over. Flip this one over. And you can kind of see, yeah, there we go. Flip this one over. And go left-handed, so get out of the way of this camera. Flip this one over. Oh, almost lost it. Flip this one over. So here's another 15 minutes I got of talking and gabbing with you guys. So now what we're talking about is I was so rudely interrupted. All right, there we go. We flipped them over. Back in they go for another 15 minutes. Finish cooking. Let's see, let's put in the red pepper. Oh, the hot pizzas. That's right. So my brother loves to dump that red pepper on top of the pizza, whatever pizza it is. If it's just pepperoni or pepperoni mushroom, whatever's on the pizza, he'll just dump a lot. By the way, will it work? No, it will not. Okay, interesting. Usually I use my knuckles so I don't touch my fingers. Pretty much everything. But it didn't work. So anyway, so I was like, I kept making pizzas at home and kept trying to make it really hot so you wouldn't have to dump the pepper on top to make it hot. So one time, I just dumped a whole bunch of pepper into the sauce. I thought, this will work. I knew it was a lot of pepper. It was about as much pepper as you'd put on top, but it was in the sauce already. I thought, oh yeah, this will make it spicy. It wasn't really that spicy, actually, when we finished it up. It was good, though. It was still good. It had a nice kick. I love a good red pepper in a sauce. I didn't do the garlic yet. All right, let's get some garlic. Some garlic time. All right, some garlic. And we got to mince the garlic. So, yeah, that's not going to be my, let's see. I think 1 clove should cover it. Since we got to mince this garlic, I am not knifing this garlic. No. I don't like to. Well, I do like to. Mincing garlic's not bad. Ow. Whoops. So that's how you. That's how I break the peel off. Since we're going to mince it anyway. Goodbye, peel. There it is. Perfect. A nice cheese grater for mincing. Nice cheese grater to mince it up. Cheese grater. Mincy. Nice and small. So really what you want is the oils. The oil is where all the flavor's at in the garlic. So you really are breaking it up so those oils get in there. And you want to make it small so that when you're trying to bite, you're not biting a huge thing of garlic when you're eating. So that's where the mincing comes from. I mean the cheese grater comes from. You get it nice and small. Well, this garlic I was surprised at how smashed the garlic, because usually garlic doesn't smash that easily when I do it. Yeah, no, usually if I wasn't doing this live, I was going to follow the recipe to a T. I wasn't doing minced garlic here. I'd probably just toss in some garlic powder. Try and guess how much to put in. Probably a teaspoon would be plenty. So I think the last time I made this dish, I put in a whole bunch of garlic powder. There was some dish, I just like loaded up the garlic powder. We like garlic. Let's just put a lot of garlic powder in there. It was too much. So you can't get too much garlic flavor. Yes, you can. Take it from the bottom, take it off the top. And there we go, there's our garlic. 1.5 teaspoons of garlic. Yummy. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, what do we got? So what else goes in here? Got the garlic, got the pepper, salt. Let's put in some ricotta cheese. No, goat cheese. Now that one says 8 ounces. I don't have 8 ounces of goat cheese. I have 10 and a half. So I wasn't sure. So it was, last couple times at Costco, last time, they had very little goat cheese left. So I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to use this goat cheese. Where is my goat cheese? There it is. But I will tell you, if you want to, well, I mean, ever since we started using goat cheese, Kirkland brand, yes, just Costco goat cheese, we have found that we really love the flavor of goat cheese. All right, I'm only going to use one of these. You can see each one says 10.5 ounces. Plenty. I'm going to put the other one back. Anytime a dish now calls for ricotta, usually I'm reaching for the goat cheese. Because we have decided that goat cheese just has a much better flavor. I'm also going to need an egg. I'm going to get some mozzarella and fontina. I got to grate the fontina still. Having lunch. Welcome, Valiant. Valiant Thor. Having lunch, saving the world. Glad you stopped by. How you doing, Zhang Li? Glad you're here as well. Wow. Oops, that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for the recipe. Roasted quail, sweet and tangy fish. Wow, that sounds like a very fancy. That's a little more fancy than I kind of make. I'll tell you, that's a little more fancy than I make. Just a wee bit more fancy. So I've clicked off the recipe now because I know the rest of it without looking. Whoops. I guess took some flavor with it. Oh well. But yeah, goat cheese. It has become our #1 cheese to put in any Italian dish. And try it once. See if it's your bag. See if this is something you would want to have. See if this is something you'd want to use instead of ricotta. I would recommend baked ziti if you wanted to, or lasagna. What else do I use it in? Eggplant parmesan, like today. Anytime you're supposed to have a filling and it calls for ricotta, try goat cheese. See what you think. Just try it once. Don't have to do it all the time. But it said 8 ounces of ricotta, and I went 10.5 of goat cheese. And there's one more thing that goes in here, that other egg. All right, I think that's done with the scissors for today. Put those away. An egg. Beautiful. The last egg. I was hoping I'd be done with egg. Yes. Egg. Woo! See, now you're part of my cooking stream. Wouldn't you want to be here and actually taste it live? Another plug for an idea of a great show. Have a guest come in here. They cook their favorite dish, and I cook a dish of their choosing from my repertoire. I can give them a short menu. I can give them they can search my whole website and see what they like, or they can even find something online. And if they want something baked, well, maybe Happy Healthy Daughter will have time. She's usually busy though, but maybe if you're lucky in the summer, maybe you can have her bake something for you. She's the baker. Although I do make a mean cinnamon roll. It's her recipe. But that one, I will use this knife. This fork, this will work. But that one, it takes a while to cook. In fact, it might take too long to cook in the stream. Some of it, you ask for a certain dish, something that takes a while, like the ribs, baby back ribs that I cook. They're excellent. They're wonderful. Or maybe you want me to try some Chinese food, like that, the one that I just made 2 weeks ago. Try that one. Come in here, ask about it. Ooh. That could be on your list of something you'd want to try. But if you had some person or if you knew someone you'd be interested in learning more about them. I don't know, Bobby Flay comes to mind, or Guga, or Brian, I can't remember his last name, Lenderstrom, something like that, or Ethan Jabowski, I don't know, any other YouTuber. Could be someone else. I'll hit the high names. These aren't necessarily people that I watch. But Ninja, he was popular for a while. Oh, Osmongold. He would be an interesting person to have in here. The $2 steak guy. If you haven't seen his $2 steak video, he has a very popular video on the internet showing how he makes $2 steaks and potatoes. Micros of potato is a very thin cut of steak and makes a $2 steak. And the funny thing is, he has that video up, and so many internet food people, have reacted to it. Guga reacted to it. Guga with, I can't remember who he's with. Was it Weissman that time? It might have been Joshua Weissman, I don't remember. But they're reacting to his $2 steak. And then what he's going to do is then he reacts back to their reaction. So, oh my gosh. People have been saying, wow, that $2 steak videos brought him so much money back because of how many people react to it and enjoy talking about his $2 steak. There's another YouTuber, I didn't watch this channel, but he actually recreates the $2 steak, and he recreates one better. Well, one that he would rather eat, not necessarily better. No, he actually does it to like it's supposed to be. Now on Asmongold's $2 steak, the one mistake most of the chefs are making is they make their pans too hot. Because what they're used to doing, what most people are used to doing, is they are used to, you put the steak in, you hear a sizzle, psh, right when you put the steak in. As they're trying to get that nice browning on the steak. So you have Asmongold, but if you watch Asmongold's actual video, he doesn't do that at all. His pan is barely warm enough to cook the steak when he puts it in. You don't hear any sizzle, you just hear like flop. The meat flops in and he cooks it. So the problem with the people who just do it that way is they make it done too quick, too fast, and it gets really brown and really tough. Whereas Asmongold's version probably isn't so tough. All right, so this is pretty well mixed. Let me just get up here and mix a little more. Just finishing up here. A beautiful filling. Oh yes, nice. Nice filling. And what goes next? I actually do need to get the pasta ready. We're gonna do a side of pasta because happy, healthy wife needs some pasta with hers. She has to have some pasta. It's a good addition. It complements the very, what am I gonna say? The very what? The very rich flavor that this dish is gonna have. Compliments it well. So let's get that ready. So let me show you how I do pasta. Now I don't do the huge pot of water that you usually see people do. I mean a huge pot of water. You know, if you read the pasta box, it's gonna say, I don't know, like 4 quarts, 3 quarts of water. You don't need that. Don't do that. So this is my pot, about the same size as the filling. That's all I use. This is my pasta water pot. And then, well, usually I wouldn't necessarily use this salt, but I have so much of it. Ice cream salt. Where did this come from, you might wonder? Well, a long time ago, I read an article that said, if you want to keep your pastry brushes, woo, that was a little too much, honestly, but it doesn't matter. If you want to keep your pastry brushes dried, separated, easy to use next time, put in salt. Put it in the biggest, coarsest grain of salt you can. And I did so. All right, let's get that going. Beautiful. So we're gonna get that salt water boiling and we'll put the pasta in later. So I did so. I bought a whole bunch of, I bought the salt, put the stuff in there, and that pastry brush, still not very good. So don't use the brush style pastry brush. Let's see, do I still have one? Do I don't have that one anymore, it's gone. See if I have one. I don't think I do anymore. I have a pastry brush. One with the bristles. You know, it's a paintbrush, but use it on pastry. That's what I'm talking about. So what I use instead, and it's so much better, one of these silicone pastry brushes right here. This is what you want to use. These pastry needles, brush needles, never gets really stuck together, and they work wonders. Get one of these. Don't bother with pastry brushes. The ones with the bristles, the hair-like bristles, the ones that are like paint brushes. Don't even bother. Not worth the dime you spend on it. All right, let's see. What's next? Cheese. Yeah, we love cheese. So this Parmesan eggplant, oh, the eggplants are almost done. Needs some cheese. What about this one? It's fine. And 2 types of cheese. A good mozzarella. I tried a few different mozzarella's. This is the one that we like, that's local in our area. Same brand as the Parmesan. And hard to find, let's go to a more fancy grocery store. Fontina. You're not going to find it in your small grocery store. No, it has to come from a nice, thick, big grocery store. All right, that's the eggplant ready to go. Oh, you didn't hear the bell? It actually smells really good. I'll give it 5 more. Slightly brown, not brown enough. Well, it's brown, slightly brown. We'll give it 5 more. So that's gonna be 35 minutes total. But yeah, no, you can't find this in like your regular stores. You have to go to kind of one of the grocery stores that have lots of stuff. They have like a special cheese area, a special deli area. That's where you're gonna find this cheese. Oh, let's just use this. I'm gonna slice. This one uses cheese knife. By the way, if you want to have sliced cheese, I'd recommend some kind of cheese type knife like this one. It's a wonderful cheese knife. It's going to cut through the plastic as well. But it's got the holes in it. See those holes? Those holes are what allow it to cut through the cheese really easily. So let's see, how many slices do we need? So I got like 6 of them. We're going to stack up 6 of them. I need 1 layer of cheese in between, 1 layer on top, so I need 12 slices of mozz. 12 slices of mozz. There's 1. Oh, those are pretty thick slices, huh? Cheese. Now, mozz, oh, it's too small. There's your chef's privilege right there. That's how I fill up before I have dinner. Oh, it's too small too. Dagnabbit. That'll be okay. It'll be fine. There we go. Yeah, that's gonna probably take this whole block of cheese. Just cut it all. But it works pretty good because it has the holes in it. So I do recommend getting nice, if you use cheese a lot from blocks, I do recommend getting a nice cheese knife. So how do the layers go? We're getting close to layer time. So this is how the layer is gonna go. You put the sauce in the tray. I didn't make a sauce. I'm just kidding. You don't make your own sauce in this recipe. I just use store-bought. And if you want to make your own pasta sauce, you can. It's an extra step. And we're not about extra steps here today. We're about good flavor. So we're just use our favorite pasta sauce. Honestly. Our favorite pasta sauce. Which, if you watch some of those episodes, you might have seen them, of fancy chefs. Like Epicurious has one. This guy that's in New York, I think Long Island, New York, some Italian guy, has one. Goes through and tastes all the different pasta sauces. You can buy the bottled pasta sauce jars. You can listen to their advice and buy the most expensive jar of pasta sauce. But my family, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, has cheap tastes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. Got some extra leftover cheese. We have cheap tastes, and I just go by my daughter's favorite. And it's not the $6, $7, $8 a jar pasta sauce. I mean, and we have tried the more expensive pasta sauces. And along with that, Ethan Chbosky, I think his last name was Chbosky, I don't remember. He did an episode of grading all of the tomatoes, cans of tomatoes you can buy. You know, you buy cans of crushed tomatoes or chopped tomatoes. He did an episode in his YouTube channel of, you know, which canned tomatoes should you buy? Do you have to buy those expensive San Marinos? And he went through all of them, he tasted all of them. And he said, the San Marinos were the best. They're also the most expensive. And, you know, I said, all right, I'll try that. I'll buy that. We'll go for it. No, it wasn't for us. I used them. And honestly, my family and I didn't really notice that big of a flavor enhancement to the dish we made. It wasn't like, oh, it wasn't like, oh, this one got ripped. Maybe the knife. It wasn't like we're like, oh my gosh, this is so much better than the usual pasta sauce I make. No, not even close. Good timing. All right, so let's bring that out. Show you what the eggplant looks like. You can keep the oven off. Oh, it's already 5:45. Yeah, I knew this late. Unfortunately, we had to start late today. It's unfortunate. So there they are. Pretty good. Pretty well done. So it should be nice and tender on the inside, a little crisp on the outside. They're beautiful. Notice it's not that hot on my hands. Okay, we're gonna put those right over here. For now, I might move them later, but I still have to get this fontina ready. Just gonna put them right there. Look at that, you can see them in the small camera too. That small camera is really good. All right, we're keeping it at 350 for now. We're gonna have to bond button 425 later, but that's when we start doing the, I need more glove, one more glove. When we start doing the, what is it called? The zucchini. I think I don't need the knife anymore. And then sink you go. Zucchini dish. You know, because this dish is going to be very rich. We're going to try and offset it with some more fresher stuff like zucchini. Pasta water is getting ready to boil. It's got a ways to go, actually. Putting so much salt in there. It's going to be salty like the ocean. And I have found that I enjoy a salty like the ocean pasta water. I didn't, you know, actually growing up, my mom was, let's see, how do I put it? Salt averse, there we go. She wasn't really fond of salty foods. We've actually had a lot of different things that she didn't really like. She can't eat cucumber, can't eat onion. And there's certain people, there are certain foods they can't eat, and my mom has a lot of those. The thing about the fontaines, he has all that red stuff on it. Just kind of take it off. No one wants to eat the red stuff. All right, so maybe I should use that knife. Yeah. Oh, no. We'll just use the big knife. I love that sound. So there are lots of things she couldn't eat. Well, she didn't like to eat, I should say. But onions was one of them. Garlic was another. She couldn't eat cucumbers. It just has to do with the way it reacted in her stomach. She would keep tasting the onion, like the next day. Burp it up and whatnot. Same with cucumbers. So there's certain things she wouldn't eat. It's all right. You know, this holiday sauce is good to counteract the richness of this dish. Maybe offline I'll do a watermelon too. You don't need to see me cut a watermelon again. I've already done that. No, cut a watermelon offline. Okay. Yeah, get all the red stuff off. You don't want the red stuff in your dish. You're wondering what fontina cheese is like, right? You probably haven't seen it before. You have never tasted it before. All right. Well, let me give you a rundown. How am I going to do that? I'm going to taste it. Of course. Oh, that's red on it. Okay, get rid of the red. Here we go. Take a nice little piece of it. All right. Mozzarella has basically no flavor. Parmesan is very salty and nutty flavor. Let's see this one. This one's very creamy. Pretty mouth that has like this very mild flavor. It's kind of like Gouda. A little sharper than those little balls of cheese you get. But it's very similar to those. If you ever go to Laughing, see not laughing out, the baby bells, those little balls of cheese in like the red container. Very similar to that. So if you can't find fontina, get the little round baby balls. I'm not sure what they're called. And use that instead. Now this is supposed to be shredded, so we're going to shred it up. Hopefully. Hold on. Nope. All right. Second location. I don't think I used it recently. Who would steal a cheese grater? Small one's too small, but I do have a cheese grater. So now you kind of know the flavor of it, and it works really well. Oh, there it is. I found it. It works really well on this eggplant dish. So let's just grate some of it up. It's going to go 1 layer, 2 layers, 2 layers of it. So the recipe, I don't remember, is like 8 ounces-ish maybe. We're going to grate it up. It melts really nicely, has a good flavor. Oh yeah, I'm already still feeling the creaminess. This is kind of where the richness from the dish is going to come out, from this fontina cheese. So I mean, it's still coating my cheeks as we speak. I can still kind of feel it on my cheeks from that bit of cheese I had. So it's very creamy in that regard. Very smooth. Like those, and with these, okay. There we go. So I'm getting the cheese ready. Yeah, so I'm getting the cheese ready. So yeah, if you know somebody who you think would want to spend, late afternoon or early morning some weekend, or if I'm on holiday, or hey, if it's somebody really big, I might even take a day off just to do a live stream with that person. If you know anybody, please send them my way. I would love to share a meal with somebody, especially for your entertainment. I mean, what, you want to listen to me talk all the time? Maybe you do. Maybe that's why you're here, because you love listening to me talk, or maybe you love watching me bake. One or the other. Either way, get somebody else in here with me. Thank you, Shangoli. Yeah, I hope you're still watching. I know I don't always look at the chat right away, but yeah, I'm glad you say that I cook good food. Hope you enjoy it more. All right, let's see. So I got that away. And the other one, yeah, so I bag up my cheese. This is one thing, if you ever buy non-grated cheese, you notice all the cheese you buy that were pre-grated. By the way, don't. If you're gonna try and melt those pre-grated cheeses, don't. They have potato starch. That keeps them separated from each other. That's why they stay grated and don't get sticky. Like this, if I left this out, it'd probably get sticky and hard to separate. Not so grated cheese. They put some potato starch on it so it stays grated for you until you use it. But don't put on stuff you want to melt. I'm sorry. What I meant to say was, don't put that cheese on a dish that you want to melt. Do not do that. It's not going to end well. That cheese, well, I mean, it's still going to work, but it could be better. Let's just put it that way. It could be better. All right, so now what goes on here? Pasta sauce. Oh, look at that. The noodles are all boiling practically. Now the water's boiling, so I'm going to turn the water down. As I just realized, we don't want the noodles done this early because they still have to bake this thing for, I don't know, a long time. An hour-ish. Probably not a full hour. More like 40 minutes. Pasta sauce. That's what I was looking for. Pasta sauce. Pasta sauce. Pasta sauce. Pasta sauce. I know. Oh, there's the big jar. So like I said, you can read and watch all those people on the internet tasting the different pasta sauces from a jar. And maybe you listen to them and say, hey, you know what? I want rouse. That's up to you. If you want the expensive rouse, get it at Costco. Not quite as expensive at Costco. Be my guest. Enjoy. But for our dollar, we gotta get some water. But for our money, we personally really enjoy having the cheap stuff. This is Prego. We like Prego. I tried different ones, you know. At first, you know, I tried a whole bunch of different pasta sauces when I was young. And I didn't agree with them. Like, I tried the Classico. Oh, for a while, I really loved Classico. I would have it on, so how much pasta sauce on the bottom? Enough to cover. I was like, maybe, I don't know, 2 tablespoons there. Enough to cover. So I had Classico. I liked Classico for a while. And Bartoli's was really good for a while. And then I decided, oh, no, I like Bartoli's better. And I kept trying different pasta sauces. And I would do them basically just on ravioli. That was my thing in college. Buy the frozen ravioli, put some cheese ravioli, put some pasta sauce, and have a great meal. And it was, I love those meals. My kids don't like ravioli, so I don't get to do the ravioli much anymore. But that was what we did. Okay, so let's see. You got to build it. I'm not going to cheese grater again. Off you go. All right, I bet those things are cool enough to handle by hand. So we got to do one here and one here. Kind of want to get smaller ones. Okay, smaller ones like there. I remember I got to double up one of them. That's going to work well. I think that's a good combo right there. And let's see. That big one. And this big one, there we go. And let's see, I need so I'm trying to match up the sizes here. Those two will work. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, yeah, this one. Okay, there we go. Trying to match up the sizes. So what's gonna happen is when you dish it out, you're gonna dish out each one individually. There's 6 of them in here. So one of these is, no, we don't put the next one on. No. So you put half in, I'm putting 6 in, had a nice sauce. Why is there sauce in the bottom, you wonder? Maybe it's to make sure they don't stick to the bottom. I guess, I don't know. All right, let's see, layer it up. How do I like to layer it? See what layer, I like the sauce before the next one. So we're going straight, filling first. And you're gonna see the top layer, we're gonna kind of mix it up a bit. Now here I'm gonna kind of have half the filling, the best I can. So half now, half on the next level. All right, so we got half here, half on the next level. Don't worry so much as you're putting the filling on if it's like really high and really tall. That's not a big deal at all. We're gonna go back as well. So let's see, there's another one. Look at my stream house looks good. Okay, this one. All right, so you can't smell it. I can really smell this. I mean, I'll be honest. I said, fresh basil is like, why should I do that? But you can really smell the basil here, actually. There is a good amount of basil smelling and then going there. All right, let's do my fork the other way so you can see better, right? Maybe, okay, there we go. And don't worry that it's not flat yet. We're gonna flatten it out, don't worry. We'll flatten them out. It'll work, trust me. I've done this many times. And by many, I mean about 5. See the way these dishes work that I cook, often it's like the first time I try it, I basically kind of mostly adhere to the recipe that's written. But there are certain things I know we don't like, such as oregano. We do not like oregano. I will absolutely skip any attempt to put in oregano. No oregano, none whatsoever, no oregano. We just don't like it. It's not just me, it's the whole family. Basil, we like. Oregano? Nope. If this dish had called for oregano, it would not have, I wouldn't even put it online. It's not, if you look at my online recipes, you might see some with oregano, but in general, you will not see oregano in my dishes. We don't like it. So there's certain spices you don't like. Just leave it off. Why make the dish worse for yourself? Just leave it off. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, my friends out there, wonderful people. Yeah, let's see. Happy Healthy Wife was saying, 6 degrees of separation. Just bring that up. Saying that, within 6 degrees, maybe you get somebody like a Bobby Flay or a George Clooney to come to this wonderful cooking show where he gets to try or he or she, they get to try a wonderfully home-cooked meal by myself. And those that I've had over, my kids, my family, my kids' friends, those that come over, the co-workers that have tasted my food and the co-workers, they might be able to tell you. Those that have tasted like in the potlucks that have enjoyed my cooking, that the food is good. It's an experience they won't be able to get in somebody else's house. And it's a nice homely kitchen. Our kitchen's not extravagant, not huge. It's not like a Guga's kitchen. Okay, so what goes next? It's supposed to be the mozz. It's supposed to be the mozzarella goes next. But I'm going to go fontina next. And you'll see why in a second. Okay, little fontina. Yeah, I really got a lot of fontina there. I don't think you're going to use all that. Okay. It's a good cheese, though. It's a really good cheese. And so what cheese? Okay, 6 degrees of separation. Why did I bring 6 degrees of separation up? It's because someone, within our world, within 6 people, might have contact with Guga, might have contact with George Clooney, might have contact with, Troy Aikman, football player, or Mike Trout. Some, Shohei Ohtani. Let him try some American food. He's probably had some home-cooked American food by now. I would hope so. Been in the country for so long, athlete, we're friends. But anyway, get somebody. Oh, by the way, why did I not care about flattening that out? Because right here, we're going to flatten it out with the mozzarella cheese. This is why. See, then we flatten it out. Scrunch. Down you go. So that's why I didn't worry about the height of the goat cheese filling. But it's funny, it's called filling on the recipe. And that just tells you this is lasagna, basically. Because, what is lasagna? It's, you have a cheese filling topped with cheese and noodles. It's just lasagna. Except instead of lasagna noodles, we're using eggplant. So it's a little healthier for you. No, the eggplant, though, it's going to add a crispness, a nice crunch to it. So you definitely want to try making eggplant parmesan. Not only is it not expensive, and cheap bottle here. Layer another tablespoon, that's about like 2 tablespoons on each. Don't worry if you go overboard. The extra sauce goes with the noodles really well. Or the zucchini we're going to do. Boom, there it goes. Some sauce on the edge. We'll clean that up, don't worry. And then the next goes the eggplant. Let's see, I remember which the thin one was. So now it doesn't really matter very much. So there's another way you can actually smash it down using this too. With the next eggplant sliced on top. A little smashing down. Thin it up a bit. Because eventually what's going to happen is, it goes like this. We're going to put the next layers on top, and then we're going to put foil on top. You can see it's going to climb out. If you can see from this camera, maybe you can't, but it's going to climb out. It is absolutely going to climb out. It's going to be too tall. Perfectly fine. We're going to tint the foil. Oh, some sauce. We're going to tint the foil. And so the foil won't touch the stuff. Perfect. All right, so we got, the filling. So now do the rest of the filling, the other half, whatever you got. And put them on. Yeah, 2-fork approach is probably better. I was holding the thing, but I was holding the dish so that I could see better. So you could see better. But let's just go ahead and 2-fork it. That one doesn't need that much to start with. 2-fork it. There we go, a little less for this one. A little smaller, the baby one that probably happy healthy daughter will have because she likes baby. And her appetite isn't as big as ours. Okay, some more people. Ooh. Down here. Ooh. Thank you, Massive42. Glad you don't miss a live. Whether you watch it live or on replay, you can always watch these. By the way, those of you who are here, you can always watch these on replay. You don't have to watch the live. So that's the great thing, too. Oh, you know, another person I would love to have on this show, have on my cooking show, where I cook a dish for them, they cook their favorite dish for me. Sean Evans. Maybe you don't know that name just by listening to it. I'm pretty sure that, I think I got it. I better have gotten that right. It's my favorite, one of my favorite shows to watch. It's Hot Ones. And he is the awesome, what do you want to call it? The host who asks great questions of Hot Ones. So I'd love to have him on this show. Have him cook something that wasn't, he would not choose hot wings. I know for a fact, I've heard him talk about this, that, you know, restaurants want to always give him wings because that's his thing. But, you know, the guy eats wings for a living, you know? I mean, he's had his share of hot wings. I think he's kind of tired of them. You know, it's not like one of those things where you do something at your job, and that's the only place you want to do it. So he's tired of wings. So give him something that's not hot wings. Absolutely. On board. Would love to see what he would cook. And then we would not have hot wings. He has a whole show devoted to hot wings. Why would we have hot wings on when he has it all the time? No, that's not my style. Love to have Sean Evans on. So with your 6 years separation, maybe someone here watching knows somebody who 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 knows Sean Evans. Make it happen. Love to bring Sean Evans over here to California. You can make a vacation out of it. So many good stuff here. Oh, we're so close to Disneyland, too. All the amusement parks in Southern California. The great weather, although it is 90 degrees today. Oh, yeah, I'm letting the water run too long, I know. Smash it down. Smash it down. Smash it down. Yeah, smash it down. Smash it down. Smash it down. And smash it down. So there is the eggplant parmigiano. Ready for the oven. Okay. Let me just take one last minute and double check. As you also smash it down pretty far already. So I'm not going to really, but I'll show you the tinted foil trick. I'm almost out of foil. All right, for the tinted foil trick to work, you got to have just a little more foil than the size of the dish. Watch this. So we're going to bow it up. And you might wonder, why am I covering it in the first place? Why, if I'm going to put some air pocket, why am I covering it? Well, the direct heat tends to melt the cheese, brown the cheese too quickly. So if you ever make a casserole dish, pretty much every single casserole dish you ever make, including lasagna, which is a casserole, so Italian casserole. Every casserole dish you make is going to say, tint it, bake it for X amount of minutes, then untint it, unfoil it for X amount of minutes. All right, so let me take a quick look, just quick one tap on the recipe again. Oops, that's not the recipe. On the recipe again, just double checking. Yeah, I did everything right. Huh, they wanted more salt? No, we don't need more salt, we're fine. Oh, it said preheat to 375. Oh. They want it for 35 and 10, so 45-minute bake. 35 and 10. We got 45 minutes to make pasta, to make the other dish, and to get some lettuce going. So we're going to set start 35. But before we do that, oh no, turn that off because I need to set this. Actually, it's supposed to be 375. Bake at 375. Whoops. By the way, 375, 350, 370. There's really not much difference. It really wouldn't affect cooking very much. Just a little slower cooking time. That's not a big deal. All right, as I put away the pasta sauce, bring out the new Parmigiano that I'm going to need. Bring out some butter. Gonna have to melt some butter. How much is that? That's 2 tablespoons of butter, probably about right. Put away this. No, actually, this is now a serving spoon. This we can put away. Don't need to peel anything left. Nope, no more peeling. Gonna set this up here. Gonna wait for the oven to ding, and that'll be ready. I'm gonna get the zucchini ready. Zucchini. Gonna wash zucchini, slice zucchini, and it'll be ready for the topping. The topping is great. Now I have to put the topping together. Which reminds me, you need a bowl for the topping. The egg wash bowl is perfect for this topping. Okay. Gonna rinse it out, wash it out. Sorry about that. Watchers of the show. Washers. I'm the washer. Watchers of this show. Probably gonna say this a few times, but if you know any great people who would enjoy a good home-cooked meal, American home-cooked meal, you know, of the dishes that I can cook, that I have cooked on this channel, either through live or through other means, by all means, send them my way. Or if you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who can get me in contact with somebody. I mean, you know, I have mentioned Sean Evans, but that's not, you know, he'd be wonderful. Bobby Flay, any person with cooking would be wonderful. People without cooking talent would be awesome too. I'd love to have a person, The Rock, for example, great personality. I'd love to have him here. Have him make his favorite dish. I would love to see what his favorite dish is. I probably have to make the camera a little wider angle so we can fit him in, you know, because he's so big. But I would love to have him on this show. He's one of my favorite actors. Ryan Reynolds, you know, great to have him. Have them cook their favorite dish for me. I'll cook something that they want to eat, and we'll have a good time. Yeah, that is my dream. That's my dream. So if you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, or if you know somebody, you know, it might just even be a, well, you suck at cooking guy. We wouldn't be able to see his face. But that would be an interesting one too. I don't even know the suck at cooking guy's name. You know, he doesn't do that. It's just, he just put out a new video today, hash browns. All right, so they said 35 and 10. So that's in for 35. Start 35. So let's see, what time is it now? About 6, okay. So yeah, not as expected, we're gonna be done about 7. But we did start a little later today. So let's get on the zucchini dish. This zucchini dish, this is a wonderful dish. Let's do zucchini first, doesn't really matter what you do first. And this zucchini dish, I'll have to make a video of this one as well. I will, not yet, but we will. We're gonna do a wonderful zucchini dish. I need my knife. The knife. Crocodile Dundee. That's not a knife. That's such an old reference, you probably don't know it. Oh, but it was such a good scene in Crocodile Dundee. Crocodile Dundee, he was from Australia. They had a movie about him coming to America. And so they're getting mugged. I think it was New York City or whatnot. Some big city in America, probably New York City. And the girl that was with him, I don't know why he had a girl with him necessarily, but she said, you know, give him your money. He's got a knife. And Crocodile Dundee says, that's not a knife. And he pulls out a really big knife and he says, this is a knife. All right, now when you've seen this dish like Olive Garden, you might have seen it at Olive Garden or some of the other Italian restaurants. No, I didn't steal it from them, but we like it all the same. They usually keep the zucchinis long. I prefer bite-sized zucchini. So we're just gonna do it, and we just do it in half. Nothing fancy, nothing schmancy. Just, I cut it into four, so we're gonna cut it in half. And now look, they are all ready for a beautiful breaded topping. That's what these are for, in case you're wondering. Boom. Cut right through, cut right through, cut right through. Oh yes, I can see we're getting closer to winter in the States. You can tell because, well, maybe you can't tell, but I can tell. Because all around me, it's getting dark. It's getting dark. Anyway, Crocodile, he said, that's not a knife. He pulls out this really big, like big hunting knife. Let's call it a hunting knife. This is a knife. The guy runs away. That was a funny scene. Funny, funny, funny scene. I appreciate all you guys who are actually commenting out there. I really appreciate it. Keeps things going, keeps me connected with some of you at least, knowing what some of you like. Oh wait, I was gonna flip over. So I want to see, can you see? You might be able to tell if you go back to the beginning, because you can do that on YouTube. You can go back to the beginning of the feed, you know that. You can go back and you can look and you can see what the lighting was like back then. And if you look, you'll see it was a lot brighter in here. It's because the sun is setting, because we're now in the wintry, getting towards the wintry months, when the sun's gonna start, oh, and we're still in the day of the saving sun's gone too. It's gonna be sun only setting like at 4:45 over here, where we live. Let me see, I was looking for this one last time, boom. All right, one last thing, I wanna double check. Panko, Parmesan, skip the parsley, garlic cloves, skip that, melted butter. What, a quarter cup of melted butter? Quarter cup is more than 2 tablespoons, it's 4 tablespoons. Salt and pepper. Okay, now that I remember. Just wanted to remind myself of what stuff I gotta put in here. I gotta melt the butter too. Okay, so we're good. I'm done with the website for now. By the way, someday maybe I'll get the guts. Get there to the live, let's see, butter. And I need a pan to melt the butter in. Oh, I didn't turn on my accent light. Don't need it anyway. But, you know, let's turn on the accent light. I think it's nice. Boom. Nice orange accent on the back. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I need some butter. And that's not, I need 4. Quarter cup. Do I really need a quarter cup? I do. All right. Rinse off the knife. Doesn't really matter. All right, let's get 2 tablespoons from here. Those are our 2 tablespoons there. Boom, it's okay. I can do the other stuff first. Don't need it. And honestly, actually, when I usually do this, I don't usually do a recipe either. I don't follow the recipe. I need panko again. I'm gonna get the panko. Give me a second, grab some panko. Never mind. Don't have to go back to my spice rack. Oh, and if you're seeing this new setup, maybe you like it, maybe you don't, let me know. So last time I had the sitting setup, but this time what I've done is I've angled the camera. So we're at an angle. Saw it online, somebody doing this angle. So I thought maybe we'll try that, see if it's good, see if I like it. See if you like it. Do you like the angle? Let's see. Hold on. Let me melt my butter. And I'll look at the comments. You see now, the other thing is, though, it's funny. If I had a live and I had any semi-celebrity on, right? Or a celebrity. What happened? I mean, those comments be flying by so fast. The goat. Oh, yes, I did hit 1,600, then I went back to 1,599. But thank you. Yes, I am sure we'll be at a solid 1,600 soon as the butter melts. Won't be much longer. All right, so it was a third a cup of panko, third a cup of Parmigiano. Oh, this is the thing that I over garlicked last time. Oh, it's so much fun. Over garlic powdered it. We're garlic powder. We are not doing live garlic. I mean, you could if you want. Not necessary. So let's see. Let's get about a third here. I mean, 2/3. 2/3 panko. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you. I'm using panko this time. The next live, I'll probably use panko as well. I have another dish that I want to do. Oh, I hear the butter. Butter's done. Almost. It's melted enough. Another dish that I want to do with panko. One thing I've learned about panko, so I did it once. I just did like this chicken. I was comparing shake and bake to panko because one of my guys that I watch sometimes, Sam, the cooking guy, he did a comparison of panko, like a whole bunch of different, what are those things called? Breading choices for your chicken. One of them was shake and bake, and I bought a box of shake and bake just to try it out ourselves. By the way, I didn't like shake and bake at all. There we go. I guess the grease from the butter is just too bad. I know why I'm opening this one, because it's sealed. Anyway, so he did a comparison. He did like a panko, and it was just panko. That's all I put on the thing was panko. That was it. That was one of the blandest chicken coatings I've ever had. I know you need to season your panko. You can't just do panko on it. You have to season it. So we're seasoning here with Parmesan. And I can already tell that this is going to be too much. It's going to be too much filling to put on top. Too much. That's okay. It's quite all right. It's too much, but that's okay. All right, now salt and pepper. Now the thing is, though, now I say, don't need to do the grated stuff, and it's true. You need to leave some flavor. All right, we need some garlic powder in there, too. Some flavor. As you don't need to use the fresh ground stuff, I said. Remember me saying that? Don't need the fresh ground stuff. Well, that's the only kind of pepper I got. All right, let's get some pepper in there. Pepper, pepper, pepper. I don't have anything but fresh ground. It's just the way it is. So I put in some fresh ground. So we're going to need the salt again? Nope, don't need salt again. Salt is done. By the way, you might be wondering on the pasta. So I'm watching the clock over there. It says 25 minutes. When I get to about 10 minutes left on the clock, we'll put in the pasta. It's just spaghetti. Am I going to break it in half? Am I going to disappoint every Italian out there and break it in half? Yes, I am, because it fits in the pot better. Mainly that's why I do it. It fits better in the pot. Because that pot's really small. But the other reason is I like my noodles smaller. Because I don't want to sit there and twirl, 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 twirl. I don't want to twirl that much. So that's why I break my pasta in half. If it's spaghetti. All right, so now mix. Oh, garlic powder. Didn't I say I needed garlic powder? I did. Jump over here. And if I was smart, I would have used some of this left over from the other breading, but I wasn't that smart. All right, so we're gonna, oh, there's the AC coming on again. Some garlic powder. Now don't put too much. Tablespoons will probably be too much. Maybe that's about 2 teaspoons, I think, something like that. Teaspoon and a half, something around there. If you put in too much, it is going to be, I need something bigger. It's going to be way too garlicky. Okay. But now the question is, how am I going to get this coating bread to stay on my zucchini, by the way? So this is the next step. Let all the zucchinis on the tray. So now my oven, these zucchini should be in there very soon, by the way, because timing. So now my oven is a heat from the top oven. It's electric. And one thing I've noticed is that if you put something in, I used to always put stuff in when the oven's heating up. On my gas oven, the oven was from the bottom. Gas from the bottom, electric from the top, at least in my situation. So I'd always put stuff in while I was heating up because it wasn't ready yet. But what I've seen with my electric oven is the heat element is at the top. So when I put this up to 425 like I need for the zucchini bake, the heat on the top is going to heat up hotter to get the oven hot. And that's going to cause a searing effect on whatever's in there. But since it's foiled, since our casserole dish is foiled, it's not going to matter. All right, melted butter, quarter cup melted butter. This will help it stick to the zucchini. All right, there we go. And just stir that around. Then you put the pan back down. Usually melt butter in the microwave, but honestly that was much better. So you can see once you put the butter in there, it's going to be much more clumpy, much more sticky. You want to mix it all in as good as you can. Could you use mayo? Yeah. Would you want to? No. That was always the question. Maybe you've heard of it. Butter versus mayo on grilled cheese. Some people adhere to, oh yes, yeah, use the mayo on instead of butter for grilled cheese. I'm not in that camp. I could be, but I'm not. So there we go. It's all coming together nicely. Don't worry about the excess, it's going to fall off. I don't have enough zucchini to cover them all. You know what? Because I'm gloved, I might just glove them on there instead of spooning them on there. Why? Because I'm lazy. It's going to take longer. Use a fork. Usually I wouldn't do this with bare hands. I'll be honest, I wouldn't. Because I don't want my hands to get all messy. But since I'm using gloves, who cares if my hands get messy? Let's do the ones close to the camera first. Oh yeah, right there, yeah. So these here are just putting them on top. Nice layer of the Parmesan, panko, butter, salt, garlic powder, pepper. Coating. That's it, that's in the coating. And when we bake them, it's going to get a nice crunch to it because they're using panko. If you've ever had tempura, Japanese tempura, why is it so crispy? Panko. I'm not sure if panko is Japanese. I'm guessing it's Japanese. But it's a great invention. And I use it all the time when I want crispy coatings, especially chicken and fish. You want a nice crispy fried fish? Use panko. You want a nice crispy fried chicken? Use panko. And I'm going to show you probably on my next live maybe. I'm still trying to, because I have some, I like lives. And oddly enough, I keep doing lives on foods that I'm planning to do that aren't live and have a thing for them, but I haven't gotten to that yet. Haven't gotten done yet. And I have some other things coming up, like soon, hopefully. If it gets done, it might be, you might get Chicago deep dish pizza this week. If not, it'll probably be next week. One or the other. So that's in the works, Chicago deep dish pizza. And for a Californian who loved the Chicago deep dish pizza, I will tell you this recipe doesn't, makes so I don't have to fly to Chicago just to get their deep dish pizza. It's good enough that you can make at home, and it's not that hard. It takes a lot of time. You can make it home, and it will make it so that you don't have to, feel longing to go to Chicago. It'll satisfy, so this way, it'll satisfy that deep dish craving, even if you're not actually doing deep dish pizza. Even if you're not actually in Chicago, it'll satisfy that craving. All right, there we go. Zucchini's ready. Let's go ahead and toss it in there. This is a 20 to 25 minute cook time. And it's getting, it's getting shielded. It's going on the second level by the dish above. So it's not going to be in direct heat. So yeah, so let me see. We'll just let it cook. Let it cook. And it'll be good. All right, last thing we're going to do. Let me get that stuff off. So honestly, let me see. We're at 18 minutes. Shall we pasta it up? Let's get the water back to boiling. I had it on the simmer. So let's get that water back to boiling, that'll be good. All right, let's do that. Wow. And I'm pretty amazed. Don't have a lot of dishes today for cleanup. Okay, that's not here nor there. All right, so let me see. Oh, okay, let me see. I don't know what to use this for. Let's use dab. Ooh, it's hot. All right, next thing, salad. As you know, so the zucchini is going to cut from the richness, because this eggplant lasagna is very rich. It's very filling, stick to your stomach, satisfying, and flavorful eggplant lasagna. I mean, I have joked about this in our family, and we call it eggplant lasagna, because it's basically lasagna, but instead of noodles, you're using eggplant. And it's just very good. At least this version of eggplant parmesan is that way. So that's what we're making. And to offset that heaviness, that's something that the pasta can do. That's something that garlic bread can do to an extent. But vegetables are much better than that, like the zucchini in there. Because the zucchini, even though it has a nice breaded coating, that's just so that you don't get sick of flavorless zucchini. So we got the zucchini cooking. My family isn't very fond of zucchini. I love zucchini, honestly. The nice zucchini noodles are one of my favorite ways to have zucchini. But I didn't want to do that one again. I've done that for you guys before. So I want to give you another one. Now that's another one that I want to make a full episode for. Baked zucchini with the breaded coating. But I haven't gotten to it yet. And there's so many other dishes. The Chicago deep dish pizza. There's some others in the pipe, in the works. I haven't gotten to. That was getting out some salad. Well, in a funny way, I'm getting out salad. Why do I say a funny way? Because, well, we've cut up some lettuce already. Let's get these out of the way so I can take out the lettuce. Oh, those things are gone, so I can do that there. Perfect. This will be gone soon, I hope. Okay. No, you go there. You go here. Come with me. And you can slide on. Ah, beautiful. You can slide on that. Yeah. There we go. So we're going to do our favorite way to do a salad, and that is with a salad spinner. Vegetable spinner. All right. Give me a second. I got to go get the lettuce. I'll be right back. I don't think you can hear me right now. I tested it before. I don't think you can hear me when I go across the room. I think the wireless part cuts out. But hopefully now you can hear me again. You should be able to. Yeah, I can see the meter moving. So we got the lettuce. And we're going to add it to some previously cut lettuce and wash the whole thing. Why do I have some lettuce? Why is there only one head of romaine, you might ask? Well, because that is all we need. Because we're only a small family with not large appetites. That eggplant lasagna, that's a 2-day meal. Maybe if you're a family, that's like half of what you need to feed everybody. But for us, that's a 2-day meal. So I had to cut down the romaine once lengthwise. Sometimes I'll also cut down these halves. That's cut down the halves too. And cut down the halves. So we're getting the romaine ready. Maybe you're scared I didn't wash it yet. That's because it's going to be washed and spun dry. And then that's a pretty good size. This will be fine. Nice. Beautiful romaine. And in it goes. Oops. One missed. Is it ready for the pasta yet? Come on, boil, baby. Uh-oh. It's okay. We got 20 minutes left. I'm sorry you won't be able to see this, but I'm just filling my salad bowl with water. You have to see me spin it dry. It's our favorite way. It's our absolute favorite way to do lettuce because Happy Healthy Wife likes a dry lettuce and she likes it washed. Rather than use a whole bunch of paper towels, which I used to do and I've done in the past, we're just going to wash the lettuce in water and then spin it dry. And I'll show you how it works with the salad spinner. Vegetable spinner, salad spinner, it's all, and you can do cabbage in there as well. You can do, any vegetables you want. I didn't do it for zucchini because, well, zucchini is solid. But the leaves have so many small areas, so many small places. There we go. I'll bring it over here full of water so you can kind of see what you do. So you just go in, hand wash the lettuce. Make sure you go in. Now some people just leave it in here and let it soak so all the buggies hopefully will float away. Me, I like to go in and get my hands wet. Of course, you probably realize since I've got gloves on, they're not getting wet. They aren't getting wet. But you get the idea. You got some. But you can still feel, I can feel how cold that is. That is nice. I can't feel the wetness per se, but I can feel the density and how cold it is with these gloves. Anyway, all right, so there we got some nice. And then you can pull this up. And we dump out the water. Seriously. So I'm going to do that. So I'll show you how you pull it up, but I'm going to pull it up over there and dump it out. It's easier because it's so heavy. Usually I do that all in the sink. So we pull it up, listen. Whoops. Pull it up. Water drain, then we dump out the water. Oh, so satisfying sounds there. Shake, shake, shake the top layer. The basket, kind of shake out the water. That's not quite as important though as this next step. So what gets the lettuce really dry? The spin cycle. Think about your washing machine, washing clothes. What does it do before you take them out? Spins them dry. Have you ever tried taking your wet clothes out of the dishwasher? No, I haven't either. You ever tried taking your wet clothes out of the washing machine and dried them directly? Doesn't work. No, that's why there's a spin cycle. It spins the clothes dry. It's all that water using the forces. And you can see all that extra water in the bowl there. All that extra water. Now we're gonna dump that out. And I like to spin 3 times. You can spin to your heart's content. I like to spin 3. 1. The pot of water is boiling. Time for some spaghetti. Noodles, let's see. Let's take this one. Yeah, it's spaghetti. So I'm going to take half of the bag. It says 10 to 14. We're just going to cook it for the entire time that the Parmesan's still in the oven for, which is about 18 minutes. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. So it says 10 to 14, and that's at 8 minutes right now. Usually I can just, all right, let's scissor it open. I have 2 pairs of scissors. If you recall from previous live, I showed you these magnificent scissors. Use them from time to time. All right, so I am smelling the coating on the zucchini right now. That's what I'm smelling. All right, so here it is. Here are the noodles. Here's all the long pasta noodles. That's about how much we're gonna use, about half the bag. For 3 of us. And we're gonna put them in the pot. You didn't hear that if you're Italian. If you yourself like to, take your pasta noodles and make them smaller, spaghetti specifically, by all means. If you're a person who hates it, don't hate me. I mean, I like when noodles, I don't like to spin. Get all the spaghetti on my fork. Lettuce has got to fit in the pot. All right, so you don't want to just let those sit, by the way. And I'm not going to just let those sit. If I let those sit, what's going to happen? If I let those sit, what's going to happen? They're going to stick together. So don't just let them sit. All right, I'm going to put back the other casserole dishes that I got out. So I was trying to get out a certain casserole dish. And then we'll start the plating process, which is, what my daughter and wife love to hear, the plating process. Because they know once we do the plating process, they know it's not long before everything is plated and we're ready to eat. All right, so we're gonna put the salad. Now, usually I don't take the salad out of this bowl, but because we're live, and because, let's see, will this one work? I think so. But because we're live and because we need a good thumbnail, and half of the battle of food preparation is presentation, believe it or not. If it looks good, you'll want to eat it. So, because of presentation, the need for a nice presentation, we are going to get all the food presentable. Then I will try it, and then we'll end our live, unless anybody has any questions or any thoughts, any desires. Maybe you know somebody who knows somebody. Yeah, I'm bringing it up again. Who knows Sean Evans or Ethan Chabowski or somebody who's known, who you would want, let's put it this way, somebody who you would want to see on a YouTube video. Not a YouTube video, no, not a video. I'm not offering a video, I'm offering a live. That's right, we're going live with this. It's not gonna be an edited video, it's gonna be unedited, so it's uncut. It might even be uncut, unscripted. I have no teleprompter here. I'm not reading off a teleprompter. This is all top of my head. Every live I do, it's 100% off the top of my head. Live and uncut. So if you know somebody who would like to come here and experience a Chef Barry, a Happy Healthy Wife meal, because Because I can attest those that have done this before, have had a Happy Healthy Wife meal, they're usually very pleased and happy that they've had one. Who wants to shoot the breeze? Who wants to prepare their favorite dish? Maybe talk about why it's their favorite dish. You know somebody. Somebody you would want to see live, uncut, unedited, unscripted. No holds barred. Please, let me know. Give me some people that you could enjoy watching in such a format. You had to have a luscious meal. Look at this salad. Doesn't this salad look good? I think this salad looks good. See, that's why I want to do, see, this is presentation. It tastes horrible. If it looks good, it tastes good. That's one of the secrets of food, if you didn't know. If something looks good, it tastes good. Well, I wouldn't say that, but I mean, when something looks good, it usually tastes good. Now, see, usually with my lives, that's right. I'm going to set it up so that you can see the food I'm going to take the picture of. That's usually how I do it. So the food's going to be staged here and take the picture. And so if you ever look at my thumbnails, well, it's pretty obvious to see which ones are live. We got the big live box on them. But you'll notice the thumbnails have a white background. It's this countertop right here. But if you notice my food videos, the ones that are edited and presented and show you how to make the food, 100% from a recipe, and don't have much extra flash talking and whatnot. They're much more, here's the recipe, try it, it's great, let my kids tell you how good it is. Those are on the table, and the table's a black table. So that's why those foods are black. Oh, and if you also look at my pictures that you see posted in the community area, you'll notice that those ones, they're on the black background as well, because it looks nice. It looks nice, and that's our eating table. So I'll dish it up. Of course, I'll present it. I'll make it look nice. I'll wipe off all the extra sauce to make it presentable, and take a picture. That's what we do to make it look nice. Because whether you know it or not, we all eat with our eyes first. We eat with our eyes. And then we taste the food, and it tastes very good. So I thank all of you who are still here with me. So yeah, we're just waiting for the, we've done all the food prep mostly. Now all we're doing, I can put this away. I'm keeping this out because this will help me dish. That fork, no. The knife, no, don't need the knife. So I'm just kind of waiting around for the food to finish. We gotta still dish up the pasta. See, now that's actually gonna go onto the plate. The plate of food. It's going to have the eggplant parmigiano. It's going to have the pasta. I'm trying to decide which kind of plate we're going to use. Which plate do I want to use? Let's go with this one. Will this one be good? Because this one will hold the stuff, and that one's deeper, but I can't decide. I think the white one is better. Besides, it'll match the salad. I'm trying to decide, do I want to put the green with the spaghetti? Do I want to put it all here, or do I want the green on separately? I don't know. Yeah, so we're just waiting on the ding-dings. There's going to be 2 ding-dings. One ding-ding is going to be for me to take off the foil. I'll show you what the eggplant lasagna looks like, and I'll put it back in, and we'll cook it longer. That's another 2 minutes. And you're waiting for the pasta to finish. And by the way, whenever you're doing pasta, if you want to make a pasta salad or you're making spaghetti, and your pasta, you don't want to put the spaghetti with the sauce, because maybe different people in your family like different sauces, or maybe you're going to add it to a pasta salad later, and you need the spaghetti to cool down. If you just let it sit, it's going to stick together and be amazingly difficult to work with. All right, there is the, let's show you what the eggplant lasagna looks like now. Bidding, bidding, bidding. Okay. Ooh. Zucchini's looking pretty good. I didn't turn off the ding-dings, did I? Yeah, we're holding the thought. I know the thought is about. I'll deal with that in a second. All right, so let me give you the view of it. This is the before we take the foil off. You can see the tinted foil, Manson didn't run into. So you can see how the eggplant is, it looks deep, right? But you can still see where the eggplants are, so that's what you take out and put on a plate. Oh, it looks wonderful. Now we want to, so while we're taking the foil off, it's going to keep cooking. And we are going to brown this cheese. A nice brown on the cheese. You know how you get pizza, if it's just this yellow, this, it's not as good as when it's brown and crusted. So that's what we're doing now, is we're crusting that. Get another tin in there. Look at the zucchini. All right. Zucchini. Let's just leave it in there for a little longer. It's looking pretty good. It's almost there. And so another 10 is usually pretty good. At 425, it might take less time because that's just how it is. Okay, so now let's see, the pasta is getting there. It's getting a little soft. It's not there yet. Another couple minutes. We're almost there. We're almost there. Nice, yeah, look at that, 7 o'clock. So let's see, what time did I say? Now, this is the one joke about, before I get to the timing issue, and I'll tell you about that's the joke of the family, but the timing issue, before we get to that, I was talking about the pasta. So if you want the pasta and you want it to stay nice and separated after it's cooked, because this won't, I'll show you what you do. You're gonna take the pasta out, you're gonna drain it, of course. Now I'll show you how I'm gonna drain it in a couple minutes. And then you're gonna put it in a bowl, or you can leave it in the pot, either way. And you're gonna add some oil to it. Whether you use olive oil, butter, okay, I'm sorry, you're gonna add some fat. Whether it's olive oil, whatever fat you wanna add to it, you're gonna add some fat. That fat is gonna keep the pasta from sticking. So if you ever want to know the secret to how to keep your pasta from sticking to each other, that's to do this oil. That's why if you go to one of those, if you eat a pasta salad, that's why there's a lot of oil in it, because you don't want the pasta to stick together. So you gotta have that oil. Oh, I see. Oh, we don't have anything up here right now. So let's go back to, boom, there we go. I just realized I was cutting myself off. When I lean this way, I cut myself off. Sorry about that, but you can still see okay. I hope everything's going good for you guys. So let's see, I was talking about that. And I was going into, the timing issue, yeah. So you notice the timing I put on the thing, I said, this takes about 2.5 hours to cook. Let's see, when did we start? We didn't start exactly at 4. We couldn't because internet issues. So we probably started 4:20ish, I want to guess. I could probably look it up, but I don't want to right now. Okay, never mind. I can see we've been live 2 hours and 22 minutes. Wow. So today I actually underestimated to an extent. No. This is actually about dead on. I said it was going to take about 2 hours and 30 minutes, 2.5 hours to cook the food. And with all the talking and whatnot, that's an extra hour, I said. We're not going to be here that long. Yeah, I said 2 hours, 30 minutes. Because it's what happens is when I'm talking to you and I'm not as fully concentrated on cooking the dish, and it takes a longer to cook the dish. This one mostly, it's so we're doing a 45-minute in the oven after 30-minute in the oven. And so that right there is an hour and 15, which you have. So that's why, you have this dish, you have an hour and 15 to do other things. Talk, make other foods is really what you want to do in that time. You make other foods. That's where the pot's coming from. That's where the zucchini is coming from. If you want to do zucchini noodles, that would be another great side dish to put with it. All these great things you can do. So, so I always say, the joke is, they'll say, oh, when are we going to eat? And if you watched my last party live, I was trying to get the food ready by, I don't remember, it was 6:30 or something like that. But it wasn't until 7 that we ate. So the joke is my daughter will ask me, well, how much longer, Daddy? And I'll say, oh, we got about 15 minutes. And she knows that's Daddy speak for, I was going to take another half hour. They usually just double whatever time I say. So when I set up the lives, I try and take that into account. I guess this time, 2.5 was about the right amount of time for me to cook this dish. Although I'll be honest, it probably would go a little faster if we weren't doing it live. Maybe not. Maybe it is a 2.5 hour dish, whether I'm talking to you or not. It's right now, what would I usually be doing? Oh, actually, drinking water because it's really hot. But, oh, pasta. Pasta is definitely ready by now. Let me stir it. And let me show you. Well, I'm gonna strain it. All right, that is definitely cooked. Now I'm gonna use my favorite strainer of all. I love this thing. Now, see, now what I would usually do with our family, what I usually do right here, is that too hot? All right, let's get a, and I'll show you my strainer here. I would strain this bad boy with this beautiful strainer. See, it's gonna strain out. The pasta's gonna stay in the pot, the strainer, pasta in the pot, the strainer keeps the pasta in the pot, all the water falls through. I love this. It's also great for when you're cooking fat in here. Keeps all the ground beef in there, all the fat drains out. So I'll show you. So now I'm just gonna dump it out, boom, using this perfect strainer. And if it was just my family, and we're just doing this for us, and only us, there we go. You know what? I might do it anyway. All right, bring it back. There it is. Pasta. Oh, wait, I forgot. My other camera's not on anymore. There you go. You can see this little strainer here. This, I love it. It's my favorite strainer. Connects onto the pot. Let me show you how easy that is. Bing. Keep it inside. There it goes. And you can just drain whatever it is you're draining. Take it off. And now you got pasta. Or whatever else you had there. Beef. If it was ground beef. Now see, I'm going to add my fat. My fat is olive oil. Some of you might do butter. Butter is actually really good on noodles. I like it too. And I add some olive oil. And I'm going to stir it around. So see, we're just cooking for ourselves. What I'm going to do? I'm not going to use another dish. I'm not going to use another dish for this. No. No, 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 no. Oh, wait a second. I have those tongs. There we go. This will be perfect. You know, save on dishes. Save on extra water usage. Maybe you're in an area that doesn't worry about water. We do. And we're going to stir it around. And we're going to leave it in the pot. And I'm going to plate some of this noodles on this plate because that's what we do. Because the eggplant lasagna goes on top and to the side for plating purposes. So here you go. Here's the beautiful noodles. It does smell a little olive oily. So if you prefer butter, by all means, add a little bit of butter. Stir it up. And now, so like, by the time family gets down 15 minutes later, guess what? The noodles, yeah, they're done. Wow. Wow. Woo. Salty like the ocean. I might have been a little too much salt this time. I mean, using the ice cream salt has its advantages. But you know, whoever eats noodles plain, we don't. Now the sauce on top. They might complain about saltiness. If they heard me, they might complain about saltiness. All right, so now this is gonna go onto the table. For serving, our serving table. You can't see it, it's off camera. Maybe some, oh, but you have seen it plenty of times. You've seen it plenty of times in all our videos. Our serving table. All right. So I got my pasta. I'm waiting for the eggplant parmigiano. Oh, let me take a look at the zucchini. It might be done by now. Before the eggplant parmigiani. Yep, those look good. Oh, the eggplant parmigiano looks good too. With the higher temp, 8 minutes is really all it needed. Because I turned the temp up, 8 minutes. Oh, and you're gonna like this. You're gonna like the look of this. 8 minutes was all it needed to make it beautiful. All right, let's see, I need 2 now. 2 hot pads. Because I got 2 hot things coming out of the oven. 2 hot pads. Well, I don't need this anymore, technically. Move the plate to the side. Oh, we got 7 o'clock. Beautiful timing for us for eating. Actually, it's a little late. We like to eat early. But hey, it's Saturday. We'll get a weekend. Oh, that smells divine. All right. Oh, actually, let me bring it up to the good camera for a second, just to show you. Yeah, I can actually get to the good camera. Here you go. Focus. Oh, beautiful. The cheese melted beautifully. Oh, it's wonderful. Like I tell you, it's like eggplant lasagna. All right, let me see. I'm gonna move this one here for a second. And now I can bring out the crusted. Actually, the zucchini's in a perfect state. I'll tell you why. The happy, healthy daughter isn't fond of dark bread. And the thing about the crust is like a dark bread. So we have some dark breads, some light breads. All right, let's turn on the side camera this time. I'll give it to you a good close-up on the side. Boom. There's the breaded zucchini. So if you have had the breaded zucchini at Olive Garden, maybe you have, this is basically it. You can add your own seasonings as you like. Whew, this tray is hot. It was, of course, 400 degrees in there. But there you go. And you know what? Let's bring it over the good camera anyway. So, I mean, this is a nice camera. It does a nice job of showing you what's going on in front of the actual cooking process. This camera's a little far for that, and I can't really make this camera much better for that. Let's go, good camera. Take a look at that. Take a look. Oh, beautiful, they're focused. Take a look at how beautifully crusted those are. Especially, see this side right here, that side, and this side. Why are they more crusted? Why do they show more of a brown crusting on them? I'll tell you why. Because that was the side that was not underneath the eggplant Parmesan. So the eggplant Parmesan sat above this in the oven. So these ones didn't get as much direct heat as the outside ones. The outside ones got most of direct heat, and direct heat is what causes the browning. That's why when you use foil on your eggplant Parmesan, that's why when you foil it up, I still need this, never mind. That's why when you foil it up, you maybe I'll zoom it out just a bit for you guys. Zoom it out a bit. We can zoom out a bit. As you're probably tired of seeing my head cut off. Maybe you're not, but I think you are. We'll zoom out a bit. There we go. So you can see, you take the foil on top, prevents the browning and crusting from happening because it's an indirect heat. Same as when you're cooking steak. When does it get that nice crust? Direct heat. When the heat's right on there, you're on the grill, and the heat is just hitting it and burning it. That's exactly what happens in the oven. If you open up the foil, you get direct heat. Put the foil on, indirect heat. Indirect heat cooks, direct heat burns. Good thing to remember. All right, let's see. So the one that I'm going to take for myself doesn't really matter. Actually, this case, I am going to do a picture of the eggplant Parmigiano all by itself. Yeah, the only reason why I'm keeping this board here, by the way, is for that. Let's do one all by itself, eggplant Parmigiano. Grab the heat pad, boom, right there. So now it's camera time. Now you get to see the magic of the camera. So the light's coming from this side, and I'm going to use a flash. That's the end of it. Okay, on, good, good, good. And it's good to be your focal distance, like if you're using a third, a 3/4, like I'm using, 3/4 lens, you go for a 70. If you're using full, you go like a 50. Actually, I'm sorry, it's the reverse. Go like a 50 if you're on the 3/4, and you're like a 70 right, let's move this one back a bit. Out of the way. Because I want a good picture of an eggplant parmesan. And this one came out better than I could imagine. Better than I envisioned. All right, let's take a look at that. Not centered. Try again. Okay. There we go. All right, I'll show this one to the big camera. All right, so this is what we do. This is how. And because this eggplant parmesan looks so good. Focus. There it goes. Because it looks so good, I had to take a picture of it. And that's something I can put on my community page. The community part where you guys react to stuff. So I want to have a picture of that before I got to the actual dish, which is going to go into the live, the thumbnail for the live. All right, so here we go. So let's get everything else ready. All righto, here we go. We're of course going to take this one. Well, not of course. This is one that caught my eye. So this one we're going to take. You know, I think I might want a spatula instead, honestly. Let's put that over there. Finally happened. All right, let's use a spatula. It'll come out nicer. Oh, it's already. The smell. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that cheese pull a bit. I didn't quite get it perfect. That's okay. Oh. There we go. Okay, come on. See all that melted cheese in there? Woo. Good stuff. All right, double up. Beautiful. Look at that cheese pull. People talk about cheese pull. I don't really care about cheese pull, honestly. For me, it's just annoying. But what is doing this cheese pull, by the way? The fontina and the mozzarella combined really gives a nice cheese pull. Mozzarella itself does a good cheese pull usually, but you combine it with the fontina. You know, that creamy, milky style cheese. Get a wonderful cheese pull. All right, so now we got to design the plate. Right? So we got lasagna plus noodles. I got to design everything to work well. Okay, come on, cheese, you can do this. I got the cheese that I wanted the cheese, not because it's for the design. There we go. Cheese pull. All right, there it is. Okay. I'm going to kind of hide that extra cheese. That was just because I was hungry for it. All right, there we go. All right, let's... Okay, you got to keep the noodles a little bit so you can see the noodles on the side. Whew. All right, so I'm going to fix the noodles. It's going to be, you can't really clean the noodles, so I'm going to add some more sauce to the noodles. Because you can't really clean the noodles unless I put more noodles on top. Don't want to do that. There we go. Beautiful sauce on the noodles. All right, now we got to choose the better, in my eye, the better looking zucchinis. And we'll take 3 of them, maybe 2. We'll take this one. I got to move the eggplant parmesan a little bit to this side. So now you're getting trained in photography. We're trying to get balance of shapes, of tastes. This one, oh, this one looks really good. Put that one right there. Gonna hide the crumbs that fell. I know you can't see what's going on so much. And do we want another one? Let's put another one right here. Whoops. You can see that crust is not stuck. Okay. Now that I got those 3 things, oh, by the way, the plate is pretty hot too because the eggplant parmesan was so hot. Now we get some lettuce. And, oops, uh-oh. Mistake? No. I could have put the lettuce on first, that would have been probably better. And get some of the salad in there. There you go. Okay. Fix that. Beautiful. Wonderful. And now I will show it to you before I take the thumbnail picture. There you go. The bottom is really hot. See the spaghetti, the zucchini, the lettuce. I might fix it up just a little bit. But that's essentially it. That is the meal. And I know you're waiting for the actual taste. And yes, I am going to try and describe it. The unfortunate part is I can already feel that the eggplant parmesan is extremely hot. And as my family knows, I cannot eat really hot foods. So first I'm going to, okay, there we go, break that, that'll work. Take a beautiful picture of this plate. So we're gonna have to move this out of the way. That out of the way. In the mouth. Oh, it's a beautiful plate. That is a magnificent plate. That's gonna look very good on the thumbnail. Because if you're part of the media doing food, it's not just about being able to cook well. It's presenting well. And if you're a part of the media, who does your own YouTube 100% all by yourself, you've got to be the one to know how the lighting works on the photography. That is beautiful. Yeah, that's worth it. All right, let's show that one to you as well. Gonna get right in there. It's gonna focus on it, I know, it will. There it goes. There you go. That is a beautiful plate of eggplant parmesan. You can see that on the thumbnail once the live is over. All right, so I got my pictures. Got my beautiful pictures. It's time to dig in. It is time for a taste. And see if my daughter's actually watching it this time. She could actually come down and taste it this time because she's not afraid of the camera. If she wants to give her opinion, she can. She doesn't have to. Sometimes she will, sometimes she won't. She's a really busy girl. I am moving all the food to the eating table while you're watching the food just sit there. But the reason why I'm doing this is I am actually letting it cool. Because honestly, that dish, I even felt it with my hands and it is too hot. All right, so let's grab the eggplant lasagna. Oh, it's so good. Oh, if only you could smell this eggplant lasagna. Now, I'll admit the pasta's gonna be a little salty. Little salty, he says. He put enough salt to fill the Dead Sea. And he says the pasta's a little salty. Yep. Frank would be proud. If you know who Frank is. All right, so now gloves are off. So it's time. I can zoom back in. I wish my camera had a button where I could just push and zoom. Or I wish I had a cameraman. Where I could just push a button, he'd zoom in for me. No, where I could just tell him, zoom in on this, and he would. But nope, it's not how we roll. We are a one-man band. A one-man show. There we go. So let's zoom you in so you can see the wonderful plate of food that I am about to try. Lettuce. You don't need me to try the lettuce, honestly, right? Lettuce is just lettuce. Lettuce is lettuce. What you're waiting for? I mean, you're probably waiting for the actual lasagna itself, of course. Lasagna. See, there it is. I call it lasagna because it's basically eggplant lasagna with what's put in it. That's what you're waiting for. And I'm not going to disappoint you. I'm going in for it. But first, let's go for, why'd I get 3 forks? Hey, family's gotta eat. Let's go with the side dish first. The side dish. So now you can see the breading doesn't like stick very well to it. So often the zucchini, see, it's also cool enough to touch. It was cool enough to touch. It's cool enough for Happy Healthy Wife Chef Barry to eat. Because the breading isn't really stuck to it, I'm gonna go 1 full bite, the whole thing. And because it's cold. 1 full bite. All right, let's taste it, huh? Mm. 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 Think of garlicky croutons. That's kind of the crunch you get from the bread coating. Mm. Plus the butter. If you ever made croutons before, it's basically, we made really mini croutons what we made there. The salt and spices, the Parmesan, the garlic. Mm. Very nice breaded coating. Complements the zucchini very, very, very well. Zucchini is nicely baked. It's soft. A little bit of texture to it. Nice and soft. Well, that's a great side. That's a good side. It's light, a lot of zucchini flavor, a little bit of like crouton flavor. It's kind of like a hot salad in a way. With that butter and crusted coating. Mm. Nice flavor. It's a good way to offset the richness we're about to have with the eggplant and Parmesan. Of course, we got to do some of the eggplant part too. We can't just, this looks like mostly sauce and cheese, and it's also tasty. So I can't just do that. We got to go with the actual eggplant part. And you won't be able to hear it so much, but I will tell you, it is a crusty coating. All right, I need a knife. I was gonna get away without a knife, but no, Chef Barry, you gotta have that knife. All right, let's go. There we go. Cut right through it. Also, you can see it, what it looks like. A little bit at least, even though you're far away. I know you're far away. But here we go, let me see. Cut through it. You can see the layers of cheese. The goat cheese in there is still nice and crumbly, a little bit. Because that's what's gonna happen. It's not really gonna be fairly melted, just like a ricotta would be. And you can see there are a couple of Parmesans. A couple of eggplants there. I'm gonna cut it in half again, because that's too big of a bite. And I'll describe the flavors. I mean, I already know how good this is gonna be, because I've had this before. And I hope I made it good again. Let's see. Finger test. Okay, it is cool to the touch for Chef Barry to eat, so we can eat this. Oh. Mmm. Oh god, it's so hot. Mmm. 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 Hmm. The eggplant is firm. A little firm. It's good because it adds a texture to the dish. Adds a very nice. It isn't crunchy. I was surprised that the panko coating wasn't crunchy this time. Usually it's a little crunchy. But the cheese, I guess, softened the panko coating. You know, the eggplant is firm. You can feel the texture of the eggplant. You can taste the cheeses melted nicely in the tomato sauce. You know, if you want more tomato sauce, add more. It's a lot of cheese, little tomato sauce. Before I take that bite again, I want to go back to those noodles because you remember how salty I said they were? Now let's see with the sauce. Oh, I'm so messy over here. Let me get a napkin to clean this up. I know I broke the noodles, mainly because they can fit in the pot, and mainly because I don't like to spin my fork forever for the noodles. Mmm. Wow. I'm gonna get some water. Okay, so I will admit, the noodles are too salty. Even for my taste, those are really salty noodles. But if you offset it with a sauce, they're not quite as bad. Man, it's just hot in here, so I had to have that. Oh, but it's a good flavor though, to add the sauce and the cheese. With the noodles, it's a nice balancing off of the actual eggplant parmesan. So let's try this again. You got the eggplant, you can see the eggplant, you can see the goat cheese still here, you can see the basil. Oh, I forgot to mention, yeah, you can taste the basil. You know, a lot of pasta dishes, you can't really taste the basil. It's in there, but you don't really notice it. Here, it comes out with this true herbal essence. I know that's a shampoo. It's true herbal flavor, adding a very nice, extra good flavor that you've seen in caprese salad if you had those and like them. It's kind of like that kind of flavor. Oh, oh, oh yeah, Oh wow, that bite was even better. And you got the crusted cheese, the tomato sauce, kind of like as if you're having, you know, a pizza, a really good pizza. And that goat cheese in there adds a very nice flavor. Hard to describe the goat cheese, but it's very creamy. The fontina cheese is also very creamy, nice creamy texture in there. You know, if you saw my last video at the Italian place, talking about that pasta dish, that was a really good pasta dish that I really still enjoyed. You know what? It's hard to beat this home-cooked eggplant parmesan. And I think if I had my choice of those two things, that absolutely excellent pasta dish versus eggplant, I would go with this. It's very rich, very satisfying, very tasty. I just want more of it. So I guess we're gonna have to end the live because, you know, it's kind of late. Probably if you're in the East Coast, well, it's really late, and thank you for staying up. Yeah, for watching us make an eggplant parmesan. And I tell you, you know, you can taste the panko bread coating in there. You can taste the eggplant. It's there. It's not greasy and slimy eggplant. It's firm and flavorful eggplant. It's a nice coating, nice texture to it. And just all the cheese and the sauces on top. Just really fill this dish out and make it a very flavorful dish. You want to taste on live? Or do you just want to eat? You want to taste on live? Whoop. Doctor has come to taste.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to cut that.
I had a bunch of matcha.
Oh, so you're not very hungry? Yeah, got some eggplant, got some noodle involved in there.
Oh. You can really taste the cheese and the goat cheese. The goat cheese is very good, and it has good textures. I think it's very good.
It's very good.
It's kind of like lasagna, just without the noodles. It tastes like It tastes just as good as lasagna, but it feels healthier.
Do you like eggplant in general?
No.
There you have it. You don't like eggplant? You can have this dish.
I like
you
Italian food.
You want to try some of the zucchini? No?
Okay.
Okay. She doesn't like zucchini either.
I like lettuce.
Yeah, I know, but everyone knows what lettuce is like. Okay.
Mm. Mm. Not my favorite. The top makes it crunchy and gives it more flavor. But I just don't like it.
Yeah, I feel like it's a crouton on top of a big zucchini slab. Kind of flavor I got. All right. So there you have it. Happy up your daughter also came down. She tried out some of the eggplanty parmesan. As you can hear from her, she's not a big fan of eggplant, but she says this tastes a lot like lasagna, and she really likes it. So that's how I was able to get her to eat eggplant, because it's inside of all the cheese and all the sauce, and it tastes very good. Thank you for hanging out. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, and hope you've learned how to make an eggplant parmesan that you would love to have. And again, if you know somebody who'd really love to come to my kitchen and cook their favorite meal while we talk, and I cook for them something they would want to eat. You know, people love my food. I give you a chance to have a nice interaction with the person who you'd want to hear more about. Feel free to send a message to me and my crew, and we'd love to have somebody come to the kitchen, cook for us, and also taste our wonderful food.
My crew?
Yes, you're in my crew. So we will see you in the next live, whenever that's going to be, with another wonderful, tasty dish, or on our channel.
Like tiramisu.
Really? Like tiramisu? Are you going to make tiramisu for us sometime?
Sometimes.
Oh, look at that. Someday there's going to be tiramisu. All right, so we'll see you in the next live, or watch the videos on the channel. Lots there too you can take in, lots of recipes, lots of good things for you. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.